Any good acting has behavior with it.
Nate, why? Why such bitterness? What have I done to you? Get out! You're no nephew of mine. As far as I'm concerned, you're as dead as that wretch Cermak.
You have to embellish the words with a certain amount of gravity. Because we're talking about things that are really important here that are kind of secret. There's a natural kind of darkness when you talk about noir. You know, it's great. I love it.
Once again, it's Laser Bob coming to you from 1987. That's right, that was me back when I was young and pretty. And now I'm old and fat and not pretty, but I'm still fucking awesome. It's time for Let's Get Physical Media, episode number 234. We're streaming at you, right here from the Rob Observatory. You imagination connoisseurs, you members of this Post-Geek Singularity community. But you know what? Every week I come to a fork in the road where I have to realize I'm not that awesome. I'm just an aging man-child with no prospects. So I do what anybody in my position does. You turn to your friend all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, a man who's better than you, or better than me, Mr. Dieter Bastian.
Thanks, Rob. And Rob, don't forget, at least you have hair still.
Well,
okay?
That's true.
At least you have that. And people, if you have seen Rob being on the John Campea show this week, talking about an extended version of Project Hail Mary, I can tell you right now what will be in the extended cut. Ryland Grace and his Stone Crab are watching Rocky 2, 3, and 4. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here I am, Rocky Like Eric, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media. But before we get into Rob's numbers, if Project Hail Mary is still a Hail Mary at the box office, we have to talk a little bit about the new entry this week, which I saw yesterday, the new movie from Kirill Sokolov, They Will Kill You. And as Rob knows, I'm a big fan of his since Why Don't You Just Die? And his second follow-up, which I thoroughly enjoyed too, No Looking Back. And to give you a bit of a calibration for me, I had not seen any trailers. I have not seen Ready or Not 2. So I know there are some similarities. It's a little bit like an Armageddon Deep Impact situation, but just not even months apart, just only 1 week. So I had a completely, totally clean slate to watch the movie. And for me, Rob, another banger from Kirill. I thoroughly enjoyed it. When our friend Cody Leach says it's a little bit like Kill Bill and meets Evil Dead 2, yeah, that's all it's fitting. But the director
those movies
is like
were
a chef.
good.
But the director is like a chef. You have ingredients that you know, but it all depends how you mix the potpourri for it. And for me, I had a total blast with it. Great laughs for me. And this is how you do slow motion. I just say the table scene for me, I was thoroughly thrilled. It gets silly, it gets bonkers at the end. But for me, totally another banger from him. I already pre-ordered the 4K. But I hear our imagination connoisseurs leader was not that thrilled, Rob. Tell me your enjoyment of your the derivative movie. No one else movie is, you know.
So I went with my compatriot Alvaro, and we went and saw our weekly double feature. We went and saw Julia Ducournau's movie Alpha. Ooh. That is her follow-up to Raw and Titane, which I thought was an admirable failure.
Okay.
But, might have dozed off a little bit. But just for a little bit. But then we went and saw...
What is Alpha really about?
It's hard to say. It's about people's trauma there's been some kind of an ecological disaster coupled with a disease that is turning people to stone slowly.
Okay.
And then it's about a family who's the sister of the family. The older sister is the mother of this girl that's coming of age, and they're trying to keep her safe from this disease. And the sister's brother is a heroin addict, and he comes back to town. And
Sounds a little bit like Raw, Rob. A little bit.
A little bit. It just, Raw was a lot more entertaining. This was kind of a slog to get through. It was over 2 hours long. Handsomely made, but I just didn't think it worked at all. Yeah. But you know what? I'd rather watch a very ambitious movie that fails than a movie like They Will Kill You. No, I mean, look, there is joy to be had in They Will Kill You, but I just thought it was so derivative. And as you pointed out earlier, well, aren't all movies derivative? But this was, look, if you're going to try and do the House of Blue Leaves sequence from the end of Kill Bill 1, you better be able to do it. And I don't think, for me, here's my problem. And maybe this is a problem. I explained it to Alvaro as, if you're going to do a movie, whether there's devil cults and the supernatural or the devil himself involved, you need to set up what I like to call the mechanics of hell. Like in Hellraiser, the people that open the lament configuration, the Cenobites have to be summoned. And it's because people are assholes and they're not satisfied. And they open up the lament configuration and the Cenobites come and they'll tear your soul apart. But you have to call them. You know, and this movie just made up whatever was going on. And I'll tell you something. When you get to a point where a disembodied eyeball is following you and can hear, that's when I'm like, okay, guys, I'm sorry. I understand the Evil Dead 2 of it all. But you know what? In this movie, for me, it was just too much, and it annoyed me. It annoyed me when you have the eyeball's point of view and the eyeball is hearing. And I'm like, come on. I thought ultimately it could have been, the technique was good. There's a lot of great direction. And like you said, the slow motion scene through the table was the highlight shot of the whole movie, which was good. But I just thought it was derivative. I'd seen it done better in other movies. But
okay,
everybody.
But for me, it was a banger, Rob.
I heard some
nice
people
surprises for me
on NPR, National Public Radio. They liked it. One of the critics really liked it, and it's just I expected more. I expected more.
Okay,
I just expected more.
But unfortunately, it comes out at the wrong place, wrong time, considering the release schedule. Just one week after Ready or Not 2, so it will probably,
which is basically the same movie.
Yeah, which is not that perfect timing, I would say. So how did it do, Rob? How are the numbers?
Well, here are the numbers. You'll be happy to know Project Hail Mary, Blessed Art Thou, at the box office. With 164 million US, Cume, Amazon MGM Studios record, They Will Kill You, No Thrills. And this comes to us from Anthony D'Alessandro. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller's Project Hail Mary continued to swell in its second weekend with a Saturday of 22.7 million. That was plus 55% for a 3-day of 54.5 million. It only dropped 32% from its first weekend. The second frame is bigger than Oppenheimer was and Dune Part 2, but also last year's Sinners. And they're talking about that it might make 265 million domestic, but with Good Friday and Easter weekend coming and K through 12 schools on spring break at 71%, next week could be very, very lucrative. So here is the grosses for the week. This is domestic. Project Hail Mary made 54.5 million. That brings its domestic cume to 164.3 million. Hoppers once again at number 2, racking up 12.2 million with 138.5 million in week 4. They Will Kill You. That was again Warner Brothers and New Line. So Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca. 5 million week 1. Durandar the Revenge made 22.7 million total. Reminders of Him, the Colleen Hoover movie, is still making money, $41 million totally. Ready or Not, Here I Come 2, or Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, is up to 16.2 million. That was number 6. Scream 7 is still putting money up on the board. It made 2.6 million for a total of 118.6 million. Sony's animated Goat made 2.2 million and crossed the 100 million mark with 100.8 million. Undertone, a movie that cost $500,000 from A24, put up another 1.65 million. Now it's made a total of 18.4 million, which is a great hold. And then Forbidden Fruits, another horror film about chicks in a mall, made 1.1 million. That came from IFC.
FC. Yeah.
Now let me go over to the international box office. Project Hail Mary is the top-grossing Hollywood film year to date. Best ever for Amazon. It crossed 300 million global. And Hoppers also nears 300 million global, which are great numbers. And They Will Kill You opened in 66 markets, and it has made 9 million worldwide. It made 5 million in the U.S. and 4 million international. So that's not bad. I mean, for a low-budget horror film. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come.
Yeah, but the budget was 20, Rob. Budget was 20.
Yeah, but it's getting there. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come made 23.5 million. Scream 7 has now made 204 million worldwide. Goat has made 181 million worldwide. So that's Reminders of Him has made 69.4 million worldwide. So there you go. And of course, Project Hail Mary has made 300.8 million. It's the top grossing Amazon MGM Studios post-merger movie. And it's currently the top grossing American title of 2026. So far, the highest grossing movie of the year is China's car racing movie Pegasus 3. And that's made 630.4 million. But, can you really trust those Chinese numbers? Who knows?
Yeah, you always trust them when it comes to U.S. box office, Rob, no?
Sure.
Then you trust them.
Yeah, because the U.S. is counting the money. So we shall see. We shall see. So,
okay.
Yeah, my friend. So there we go.
Here we go. Just one thing, Rob. Considering the eyeball is hearing stuff, if you had no sound and you wouldn't hear what people were saying, come on, Rob. It's not a movie where you put everything on, the logical
No, dude,
scale.
I need my verisimilitude even in horror. Set up rules and play by them. An eyeball, when you go to the eyeball's point of view and the eyeball can hear, I'm like, come on.
It was so funny.
And don't give me some supernatural shit. I don't buy it. Even the supernatural's governed by rules. There are rules for policemen. Come on.
I have seen digitally one of my favorite series, I believe 2 years ago. But
bless me.
In this day and age, it takes so long for a second season. Sometimes you even forget about a series that you have seen and totally enjoyed it. And then it came, wait, there's the second season of Furies, a French series on Netflix. The second season came out. Thoroughly enjoyed it, but the only caveat, it's only 6 episodes. Rob, how did they make back in the day 22 or 20 or more episodes per year? I don't know.
Because they really knew how to make television.
How they did it back in the day. So only 6 episodes in the second season and with a lot of open-ending stuff at the end. So hopefully it will get a third season. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's about French underground crime, and the Furies are sort of figuring out the henchmen for the overlords back there. So thoroughly enjoyed it. French series, Furies, second season. Then on Wednesday, I watched the new Amazon movie, Pretty Lethal, with Ballerina, so a little bit of a Ballerina spin-off. And I was a little bit disappointed because Uma Thurman didn't play their teacher. I was expecting she would be the trainer of the ballerinas, but she's more the antagonist of the movie. I enjoyed it, but considering the tone, for me, considering They Will Kill You, the tone totally fits what the movie was setting up. But Pretty Lethal is a little bit, for me, too serious. And there is strange stuff happening. There is a scene where all the henchmen get set out, to kill our ballerinas. And I don't know how many people there were. And they are just disappear, never to be seen again. So fine,
happens.
decent watch as a streaming movie. Not a big recommendation if you are into that type of genre. If you want to see a little bit of a spin-off, not a regular spin-off of Ballerina, it's decent enough, but not really the big hit I was actually hoping for in Pretty Leaf. That was the stuff that I have seen digitally.
Okay,
Then
well, let
I
me ask you
believe-
something, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Are you caught up with Paradise?
Yes, only one episode left. Rob.
So have you been following?
But I still don't know about any strange theories about that Alex stuff. So will we
about
find out
time
tomorrow?
travel, quantum realities, multiple timelines? No thoughts on that?
No.
Well, we're going to find out tomorrow. I have to say, last episode was a banger. I'm really excited.
Okay.
And of course,
Okay.
if you love Project Hail Mary, you should love For All Mankind. For All Mankind season 5, episode 1 dropped. I've watched it now 3 times total. Had to watch it twice. Very, very excited. I really like the 5th season. I've seen the first 8 episodes. I've not seen the final 2. And then, of course, there was a big press event at Sony. They start shooting season 6 on Monday. And they showed them the sets. Bill Hunt was going crazy, taking pictures. And Bill Hunt from the Digital Bits. And he told me some really interesting things that he was able to clock about season 6 that I'm very excited about. We'll see.
And I hear season 6 will be the final season, Rob. Then.
Season 6 is the final season, but their spin-off show. So For All Mankind airs its 5th season, and then when the 5th season ends, the new series, Star City, that's the Russian side of things, starts.
Okay, yeah.
So it's and they've called that more of a Cold War thriller kind of a show.
Yeah.
So it'll show things from the Soviet perspective. So For All Mankind is now franchised.
So it's not really taking place in space, the spin-off series?
Well, it will, but it'll show the in the show the Russians made it to the moon first. So I'm sure we're going to get the space side of there, but they're dirty commies, man. Come on. They're dirty commies like half the youth of America. Shut your dirty mouth, you communist sympathizers. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and I'm very excited. I mean, who would have thought that I would have been getting? And by the way, the first episode of For All Mankind gives us a group of exciting young people that are far more well-drawn and interesting than any of the cadets at Starfleet Academy. And I would like to say that Andy Weir came out on the Critical Drinkers podcast and talked about how he pitched a Star Trek show and they shut him down. And even he called modern Star Trek terrible. This coming from the man who gave us The Martian and now Project Hail Mary, which are 2 of the most Star Trekian things I've seen in the last 10 years or 11 years. So you go, Andy Weir. Even people from... I'm not the only person who works in the industry that can criticize the swill that we've been getting that is modern Star Trek since 2009. Just saying.
Luckily, it's already canceled, bro. It's already canceled.
Yeah, but we have to sit through it all. We have 2 more seasons of Strange New Worlds, and after the 3rd season, they should be ashamed of themselves. And then we have to watch another season of Starfleet Academy that apparently ends on a cliffhanger.
We don't have to watch another season, Rob. We don't.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You can, right. But you don't need to. Just saying.
You do need to.
If Star Trek is your religion, certainly.
It's true.
Last week, Rob,
I'm
I think it
almost
was
an apostate, though. Sorry, go ahead.
I think last week or 14 days ago, doesn't matter. I showed you this movie, Night of the Reaper, and you said, "Hey, cool cover." Yeah. Cover brought me to it, Rob. But it's good, Rob. It's a good movie. It's a good
movie.
With nice, unlike Scream 7, with a nice resolution at the end, how it all came together with nice surprises. And Rob, just between you and me, it's not about the kills in here, but don't just say anything about it, because it's more focused about the babysitter that got killed, and now the case is still open, and a girl comes back from college and is babysitting for the sheriff, his son, and of course the Reaper is still out there. So I thoroughly enjoyed it because of the nice surprises, and since there were not a lot of killing in the movie, then one happened, and it made me jump, Rob, because it came completely out of nowhere, and I was holy moly. So really a nice recommendation, Rob. Really a nice movie, Night of the Reaper. Recommendation, Rob.
I love how you
From
call a movie
me.
Night of the Reaper nice. A really nice
Yeah.
movie.
Really enjoyed it, but great collaboration for Night of the Reaper. No expectation to it. Didn't know anything about it. After I finished the movie, Rob, after I read the synopsis here on the back, and I thought, you sons of bitches. Because for me, there's a big spoiler here in the synopsis on the back. You can figure it out on your own, but I didn't, and it was a big surprise in the movie. But no, it just says here, as the German Blu-rays does, you need to know everything. Big spoiler here, Rob, in the synopsis. I couldn't believe it. But totally recommendation for me. Night of the Reaper. Really nice one. So this was the stuff that I have seen, Rob. Should we start with our physical media?
Sure. Who wants to start?
You start, Rob. We switch it up a little bit.
Okay, well, first of all, I would like to celebrate the fact that I got 2 books. Actually, I got 4 books this week, but I just want to... So, for those of you who I've talked about this before, I'm a huge fan of Jonathan Mayberry's Joe Ledger. He has 2 series of Joe Ledger novels. There's the Joe Ledger, the Department of Military Sciences division, and then there's the series continued on in Rogue Team International. But he used to write books about once a year, starting in 2009, but now it's like every year and a half. But the new book, dude, I've been waiting for this. Red Empire.
Yeah, I saw it on your Instagram post.
Yeah, so I just started this. I love these books so much. They've gone a little formulaic, but I don't care. And Chad Stahelski, the co-director and director of the John Wick movies, has acquired the rights to turn this into a TV series, which they tried to turn this into a TV series back in like 2010, 11. Yeah. I actually have the pilot script for that. It was not good. The only way to do it is to do a book a season. But the whole premise of the show, or the premise of the books at first, is there is a division of the United States government called the DMS, the Department of Military Science. And think of it as SEAL Team 7 meets the X-Files. And so in this book, all the things that we know as like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, aliens, H.P. Lovecraft, sentient drones, vampires, all of these things are real. They exist, but they're not necessarily supernatural. There's more realistic stuff going on. And back in 2009, the first book was about a zombie pathogen. Now it seemed a little, because The Walking Dead hadn't debuted then, but the first book is, I think it's called Patient Zero. Was it Patient Zero? I was looking around. Anyway. But each book deals with very famous supernatural or horror tropes, but brought into the real world, and the Department of Military Sciences comes up. They're really great. I mean, they're pulp, action, horror, sci-fi. I love these books so much. They're like right up my alley. There's even an evil James Bond character in one of them. It's so good. But this book, there's the big bad in the series, a character named Nicodemus, who may be an immortal vampire. And then there's the head of the Department of Military Science, the deacon, or Mr. Church, as they call him. They've never explained who Mr. Church is, what he is, or where he came from. This book.
Finally.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Alvaro sent me, I've not read this series, sent me Richard Kadri's Sandman Slim series. Now, I've heard of this series, but I've never read it. So Alvaro had this sent to me, and it came today. So that's always good. I did not get my Big Banger box set of Ben-Hur yet, and my Radiance box set. They're in transit. So who knows where they are? Don't know. But you know what I did get?
Customs. Probably customs.
Do you know what I did get?
Yeah.
Arrows.
Oh!
Hard-boiled.
Me too, Rob. Me too.
Bro,
Me too.
I did not get... Look, I did, as you know, I already showed it. I did rock the Shout Factory, whatever. I did get there the killer. I did order the killer from... I love these covers. These covers are great. Reversible cover. You get the poster. And again, I love this new edition of adding O-rings to these cool matte finish boxes. Have you put this on?
Not yet, Rob. Not yet. But I only have seen the Shout variation. But I hear the Arrow one is a little bit more bluish, which is more fitting for Hardboiled.
Yes, so I got to say, I have owned this movie on DVD, on laser. Actually, the first time I owned Hardboiled was the Criterion Laserdisc, which I still have.
With the yellow, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got the Criterion Laserdisc. I've owned it on DVD. I've owned it on Blu-ray. And now I have it on 4K. This is by far the best it ever looked. Now, I know Max Allen Collins was not, he didn't love this movie. Well, Max, you're fucking wrong.
He likes it, but it's not the top of his
I understand. It's not, but the thing is, I get it. This movie is fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, still 10 out of 10.
Everything about this movie is dope. Yeah. And the
ending at the hospital, still
45 minutes.
Amazing.
No, this movie, the first time I ever saw this movie was in West LA at the New Art Theater with John Woo in attendance. And this was back when John Woo, everybody in LA, the people that knew. They'd seen The Killer, they'd seen God of Gamblers, or maybe they'd seen A Better Tomorrow, or maybe Bullet in the Head. But when this played, it was a packed house of true believers. And it was second only to, actually it was a lot before this, but I think John Woo was really taken aback by the screaming adulation he received at the climax of this film, because no one had seen it in America.
Yeah.
And, wow. Just wow. And watching this again, it's fucking dope. I love this movie so much. Yeah. And you know what?
That's why, Rob, I did, even with the 4K, a double dip. I already owned the Shout variation, but I had to get the Arrow one too. Because like you, I love Hardboiled.
I love Hardboiled. So speaking of Scream Factory, a movie I dearly love, a big budget B movie that never ceases to make me smile. The Devil's Advocate.
That is.
This was hard to get on Blu-ray. It's been out of print for a while, and to be able to get this 4K, it's in the top 10 this week. Very happy to get Devil's Advocate. I really love this film. This is a really great performance also from Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron.
I haven't seen it in a long time, bro.
Charlize Theron's in it. This is the unrated cut, and Connie Nielsen playing Christabella, who's very nude in this movie. And I appreciate her for doing that, because she is absolutely stunning. And you know what? If you told me she was my demonic sister, I would have given in, being the redhead that she was. And I couldn't have resisted. I admire Keanu Reeves' character for shooting himself in the head, spoiler alert, rather than procreating with his own sister to create the devil spawn. I would not have been so strong. The devil would have won with me. I would have had my way with her, but I would have asked Al Pacino to leave, because I would have liked to have got my cheeks wet. That's all I'm saying. I would have, if I was the protagonist in this movie, the devil would be running the planet. And I don't know what that says about me, but that's what redheads can do, the proper redhead. Then we come to, I did get a little box from Kino. Yeah. And first of all, the Kino Cult label, I think, is the great unsung sub-label. I mean, we have our Vinegar Syndromes, and we got our Cinematographs, and we got our Melusine or whatever. We got all their porn label. It's great. But the Kino Cult label gives us, I mean, sometimes you never know what you're going to get, but the sub Kino Cult has been delivering 3D titles. And
Correct.
They gave us Buona Devil, Arch Obler's Buona Devil in 3D.
Yeah.
They gave us Frankenstein's Bloody Terror in Chill-O-Rama 3D. And now, Kino Cult Spine number 45, The Stewardesses. In 3D.
3D.
The Stewardesses in 3D.
I'm quite surprised, Rob, how many movies back in the day were made in 3D. I was totally
Kino
surprised.
Cult always, whenever they can, Kino will give you a secondary, probably the original key art.
Nice.
Now, I've never seen this movie, and it says right here, now at last on the widescreen, the most talked about girls in America, the one, the only, The Stewardesses. The unpublishable novel is now America's most controversial film. For those of you who might not have figured it out, this is a sex film from 1969. 69, dude.
Dude.
And it says here, a groovy time capsule from a more permissive era. How is this era not permissive? We've got OnlyFans. The camp classic, The Stewardesses, follows a flock of friendly flight attendants who spend their layovers engaging in casual sexual encounters and popular amusements, including hallucinogenic drugs and psychedelic haunted houses. What's not to love?
What a mix.
But the life of a stewardess is not without its perils, and the free-spirited women must eventually face the moral consequences of their high-flying lifestyles. Due to the novelty of being filmed in 3D, The Stewardesses was a staple on the midnight movie circuit for years, and it was the highest-grossing 3D film prior to the release of Avatar.
What?
Swear to God, that's what it says. It says it right on the back. It must be true. It's Kino Cult after all.
That's some flyer miles here.
The Stewardesses is restored by the 3D Film Archive LLC and is presented in both stereoscopic and it's in both stereoscopic and anaglyphic.
Yeah, they normally do both versions, Rob.
Yeah, anaglyphic format, and it also has on the disc 2 3D shorts, including Experiments in Love from 1977, and what is this? I don't even know what that word is. It's some Paris word from 1955. So there you go, some Parisian word, French.
Yeah,
but here you go. You go, Kino Lorber. They just keep pulling out. I mean, they are keeping 3D alive, but so is somebody else, and we'll get to that later. And then of course, I was hoping to get my Radiance title. They also sent me Beethoven.
Yeah,
with Charles Grodin.
Oh, okay.
If you want Beethoven,
nice.
You can have it. Kino Lorber has got you covered. And they sent me 2 other. They had sent me Return of the Pink Panther, the off-brand Pink Panther in Blu-ray, but they followed it up with the Return of the Pink Panther in 4K.
Ooh,
and
nice.
A movie that I loved. I saw in the theater when it first came out. I can't wait to see this 4K. And I just interviewed the star, John Voight, Andrei Konchalovsky's Runaway Train. This movie is
I have
incredible.
that on pre-order too.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I was a little bit too young for that movie when I saw it in theater. It was a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy, but I love this train movie. Yeah. I mean, this might be my favorite train movie. And there's a lot of new special features. There's a 2025 interview with Eric Roberts. There's an interview with John Voight. There's an interview with director Andrei Konchalovsky. And there's a new audio commentary with Eric Roberts. It does not have a reversible cover, but, it does have...
I was surprised to see Danny Trejo in Runaway Train.
What's that?
I was surprised to see Danny Trejo.
Oh, yeah.
Runaway Train.
Oh, Danny, I think that was his first movie, or one of his first
movies.
I
think so too, Rob. I think so.
Yeah, so that great to get that. Very excited. And that's what I got. So maybe next week I'll be able to show my box set of Ben-Hur and my Radiance stuff that I picked up.
Okay.
Wasn't able to get
Fingers
those.
crossed. Yeah. So, what I got this week, Rob. I got from Shout Select a movie that I quite enjoyed in 4K. I got Hail Caesar.
Oh yeah.
4K.
What does he say?
Blu-ray.
What does Ray Fiennes saying that to Alden Ehrenreich? Twas something. I love that movie. I gotta get that.
Yeah. Me too, Rob. It says here as a quote, everything you could ever want in a Coen Brothers movie. This was a quote from Kristen Yonsu Kim from Complex. Okay. Hail Caesar. Then let me just see where I go. This I did not purchase. This was a present for me from one of my oldest and dearest friends, CP. He bought me the Avenged Sevenfold CD, Hail to the King, which he stumbled across, liked it, and he said, hey, I give Dietz a copy of this CD too. Really nice, because I only actually knew the band from playing Rock Band. So finally I have one CD of them this was from 2013, the album. Then, when you're watching our show, this is, of course, the hunting grounds for physical media, and there's a movie out, Cat in the Backdrop, that is called Hunting Grounds. Came out here, normal version, Blu-ray, nothing to it, but at least versatile cover artwork. Oh, one thing I forgot, Rob. Considering they will kill you, did receive here in Germany a 16 rating. Rob, in the 80s, that movie would not have gotten a 16 rating. No way. But it got a 16, so I was quite surprised. Perhaps considering it was more the violence with a funny comedic element to it. So, but I have not seen Hunting Grounds. Then, still a running series, the VHS series. This is VHS 85. It's a German Blu-ray, but it even says here, the front here, Shudder.
Yeah.
So this is VHS 85, and it contains, I think, segments from Scott Derrickson, David Bruckner. No, and it has a reversible cover art, and this actually is certified 18 here. VHS 85. I don't know actually how many VHS movies we've gotten so far. Then the next one is a German movie, it seems, Rob. It says on the front, Bernadette will töten. Bernadette will kill. So hopefully, Cat in the Back. Hopefully, good one.
What made you decide to buy that?
I stumbled across through browsing, Rob. You know, we all have our websites. What is coming out? Blu-ray.com is one. And I have a German site. And then they list what is coming out. And then I watched, what is this movie? Okay. Could be something for me. Like the title. Bernadette will töten, Rob. Cat in the Back. And it's at least 18, Rob. 18 certificate. In this day and age, that actually means something. When we get in stuff that back in the day was 18 and cut and now is 16. But well, time's changing, Rob. Time's changing. The next one, Rob, I heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it. Really looking forward to The Rule of Jenny Penn.
Oh yeah, I want to see that too. What is that? What is that? A media book?
Yeah, there's a German media book, Rob.
Wow, that's cool.
Of the movie, with John Lithgow and Geoffrey Rush. So it has a 4K and a Blu-ray of the movie. But I don't know really any specifics about the movie, what it is about. So I will go in, as I love to do, blind. I just heard good things about it, but it got a little bit short end of the stick at the box office too. But I heard good things about it. The Rule of Jenny Penn. This is a German media book with a 4K and a Blu-ray. Then, from the subsequent label of Radiance, I don't know the movie, from Larry Cohen, I got special effects.
Well, Max Allen Collins is going to talk about that a little later.
Oh, Nice. Then I will know if I made a good purchase. Hopefully, Max will give me the thumbs up. So this is not one of their chunkier box. This is just the O-ring, but different cover underneath it. So we have the Blu-ray, and it comes. And what I love is that the OB that is over the O-ring actually is small enough that you can fit it in. You don't need to cut anything off. They hear what we are saying, Rob. So I put this one in here.
By the way, I
Then
take full. It's because of this show that everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
Because
we
of
get
us.
a booklet for it, and I'm glad that Max will be talking about it, because for me this is a unknown one. Cat in the back, but I love this new label from England, and this is a pretty sturdy O-ring, which I quite enjoy. And then the last one, I was a little bit, should I not? But like Rob always says, yes, you should. And this came from Play On, Rob. They brought out here in the UK, there's a different variation, but in 4K too. They brought out Street Rash, Rob.
Right.
The original and the remake. Look at this. Chunky
That's an
box set
amazing
here.
box set, dude.
And it comes with, a little bit of swag.
Do you know who was a PA on that movie? A production assistant?
Brian Singer.
Brian Singer. Brian Singer was nicely done.
Because I
smart
remember
guy.
seeing. Because I remember seeing. I think it was the making of Rob, or a documentary, and I thought, hey, what is Brian doing here? This is the cover of the new one. This is the classic, more the classic cover from the original. Then we have some lobby cards here. Wait. This is one of the more famous photos of the movie. Someone has to clean her car windows. We get a booklet for the movies. Pretty shiny here. So I have some essays for the movies, but I still haven't seen actually the remake, which only runs, I think, 85 minutes. So a booklet for it, and then, of course, the Digi for Digi pack. Show you the complete hold up. So this is complete back of it. And you get, Rob, so the two movies, 4K and Blu-ray. Then we have a bonus Blu-ray and soundtrack. I believe soundtrack. Yeah, Street Rash soundtrack. So the big release.
Because Street Trash
Street
needs that kind
player.
of, that kind of special
Rob,
edition.
Exactly. This is how far we have come, Rob. Street Rash 1 and the remake from Play On. This was the big one, Rob. This was the last and the big one. This was my haul for this week.
All right. Well, we got some
Street Rash, Rob.
super chats and some
Super chats, yeah.
some tips. Let's hear from some folks and see what they have to say. First of all, Justin Toner.
Yeah.
Justin has been a member for 61 months. He's been an Imagination connoisseur. I'm sorry, by the way, we didn't do a member chat yesterday. Okay. As everyone knows, I'm dealing with open house issues and all.
Put yourself
that.
in the picture, Rob. People want to see you.
What's that?
Put yourself in the picture. Yeah, there we go, Rob.
Oh yeah. No, so that's why. Hopefully next week. I mean, I might have to move the Robservatory, but it'll be a seamless transition. We'll see. We'll see. You know what happens, but all good. So anyway, so Justin Toner's been a member. So I'm sorry we didn't do a member chat. Tommy Rick. Oh, let me see. Let me get his name right. Tommy
Ricknell.
Tommy Ricknell.
Nice.
Sends in a 20 euro super chat, but he says this is a bummer. Recently, my fiance left me, the love of my life, beautiful and radiant. Some losses defy reason. A heart can break and mend, but is never the same. Thank you, Robin Dieter, for being my anchor and voice every Sunday all these years.
That thrills us, Rob. That covers us in oil.
That, Tommy, I appreciate you saying that. But if I might add, fuck that bitch. You're going to find somebody better. I'm just saying. I mean, come on. No, don't wallow in sorrow. You said fiance and she left you. You know what? The fact that you watch this show proves you're a man of good character and that you have a certain sense of whimsy and a certain sense of art history, and you have a power inside of you that will not be denied. Do not let anyone take that away from you.
And if we can provide a little bit of distraction, then we're glad.
Although I will say this, if it ever works out, you should bring her on this show and let us berate her live and say she's lucky to have you. But if not, you're going to find a new lady and you have an invitation to bring her on, and you can pretend that you know us and that you've been streaming with us for years and that we're eager to meet her. So you have an open invitation. You come on the show, you show us your physical media, and we'll pretend that we know you, and we'll just glaze you to no end. So you have an open invitation. Come on the show, and we will glaze you like nobody will glaze you before. You'll be like the donut everybody wants to eat. I promise. But I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. All kidding aside. But thanks for watching the show, and I appreciate your support very much so. And I'm serious about that open invitation. Come on. That'd be fun. And we'll talk about how great how you talk about your new lady on the show, and you're very excited, and we'll do what we need to do. And you know what? Also, let's see. We've got Justin Toner sent in a tip and says, "Hi, Robin Dieter. I just took advantage of the 50% off 24-hour flash sale on Criterion this week, and I grabbed the high and low 4K. Nice. No Country for Old Men 4K and Miller's Crossing. Those discs are beautiful. No Country for Old Men and Miller's Crossing. That might be one of the great double bills of all time. So many sales happening from Arrow and Kino. Not enough money. I feel your pain."
Yeah.
Now, Fred sends in a tip and says, "The highest Rotten Tomatoes rated movie out there is Epic. That's the Elvis Presley, Baz Luhrmann's Elvis Presley IMAX film at 97%. Richly deserved. It gives you a human view of Elvis and shows what a great entertainer he was. At this point of time, he always gave 100% on stage, and he was always the coolest guy in the room." I agree. That's what people have been saying. I really want to see it. I have yet to see it.
Yeah.
Fred goes on to say,
"I got a 4K release, Rob."
Yeah.
Gets a 4K release. Yeah.
Fred says, "I got the third Joe Ledger book on my must-read list. Interesting that one of the bad guys was named Nicodemus in the latest book. In the fifth Harry Dresden book, we meet the Denarians, whose leader is Nicodemus. The Denarians form demonic bonds with biblical ties." Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it's very funny that you bring up the Harry Dresden books because, of course, Stubble McShave sent me all of those books after I recommended he read the Joe Ledger novels, and there is a bit of cross there. I definitely understand why Stubble McShave sent those to me, because there's definitely, if you're a Joe Ledger fan, the Dresden Files books are right there. But yes, Nicodemus, I mean, because of that name, it makes sense. But that's cool. I'm glad you're reading the third. So I think Dragon Factory is the second Joe Ledger book, and I'm thinking, I don't remember. By the way, the early Joe Ledger book, the titles, the Dragon Factory. My favorite Joe Ledger title is The Extinction Machine, and that book was fucking
not bad.
Dope. But The Extinction Machine, The Extinction Machine is one of the great titles of any novel I've ever read. Although I did get There Is No Anti-Memetics Division this week. I can't wait to read that book because I've been obsessed with the short films, and so. But yeah, man. And, I would be remiss if I'm showing books, if I'm showing Joe Ledger books by Jonathan Mayberry, I also have to show The Return of the Maltese Falcon by Mr. Max Allan Collins. If you haven't received this book, you never know. And speaking of Max Allan Collins, Mr. Max Allan Collins. What's
Hello,
up, dude?
guys. Hi, guys. Before we get into it, I got a couple of things I got to say.
Uh-oh.
First of all, Rob, that eyeball could be a lip reader.
Oh, you know what? Enough. No. Enough. No. You are wrong, sir.
I didn't. It's a possibility.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You know, you got to have some imagination to be able to go there, Rob.
Oh, how dare you, sir?
Thank you, Max.
How
Thank you, Max.
dare
Thank you,
you?
Max. I will write you a nice email about that point.
Okay. But Dieter, now I'm going to take issue with you. I saw I saw Project Hail Mary.
I know.
Liked it very much. Did not think it was a comedy. Thought it had comic moments. And watched it with my 10-year-old son, or 10-year-old grandson, I should say, Nathan Collins. That's my son. My grandson is Sam Collins. And we sat, it was an afternoon showing where we were in the entire theater by ourselves, right in front. Totally immersed in that film. Thought it was extremely good. I have a few issues with it, but not a kid's movie. And I asked my 10-year-old grandson if he, what he thought. I said, was that a 10? He said, a 9.
Oh, okay.
Easy to please.
No, he is not easy to please.
Okay.
I did like it quite a bit. And sometime we could talk about it, because I think the problems the movie has have to do with the book to film translation, and I just think there's some problems that would have been very, very difficult to handle short of a TV miniseries, let's say. And I had personally, I guess I'm so old-fashioned that I would have preferred it to be more linear. Which the previous kind of made.
I was thinking about that, Max. If a different structure for the adaptation would have worked better. We start at space, but then we do the flashback scene as a whole.
I would you know what? I think the problem with that is they abandon the Earth flashbacks. Until the structure of the book was really interesting, and they talk about this week we reported that their first cut of the movie was 3 hours and 45 minutes. It was apparent to me that when I first read about a cut, it was 3 hours. It was just like The Martian. The theatrical version of The Martian is really good, but the extended version of The Martian, like many Ridley Scott films, is great.
I agree.
Why? Because when you're jumping back and forth, learning more about his shipmates, and you're jumping back to the ship, and you're jumping back to Earth. And there's a great balance. And I think the problem with Project Hail Mary, the movie, as much as I was all in, I thought it was going to be the best picture of the year. The problem is they lean too heavy into the comedy, and there's too much improv in it. If they stuck to the book, there are 2 sequences on Earth that they should have kept. One, which they talked about, they might have gotten rid of it at the script phase, but they shouldn't have. When back on Earth, they exploded nukes in the Arctic to create nuclear winter to heat up the Earth as the sun dimmed. And I think because the peril on the Earth needed to go up. Because when you get to the end and you meet Strat, it's been so long since you've seen her that you kind of forget. And they also had a scene where she was thrown into court because of her treatment of people. And they should have kept that. And I'll tell you another thing about, just for me, at the end, when what happens at the end, which I loved in the book, and they retained that, I didn't like the way it was handled. The very last moment in the book with Ryland Grace became a comic beat when it should have had a sense of wonder to it. You know, the fact that I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it or read the book, but there is this moment where, let's call it, you see two worlds coming together, and they make the beat very comedic. And for me, it had a sense of awe in my mind, and of awe and wonder when you read the book. And by making the movie too comedic, you have taken away the awe and wonder that was inherent in the novel itself. Everything was way too easy in the movie. That's just me.
Correct.
Well, I
Totally agree.
I don't disagree with that. What was interesting, though, for me was I had not read the book, but my son, who was very, very much a hardcore fantasy science fiction guy, very, very much a science fiction reader, had read the book and was a fan of the book. And we were able to compare notes for how someone who had read the book and someone who had not read the book, what problems we had. And we had different problems, which was, I thought, interesting. I think one of the things that happens with that movie is, in a weird way, and now don't misinterpret this, but in a weird way, Ryan Gosling is miscast. And at the same time, he sells the movie. I mean, I can't imagine the movie without him. It's so important because he does 2/3 of the movie with us, alone or with a special effect.
Yeah.
And it takes a hell of an actor to do that. And he's great, but along the way, it means he seems like a much more grounded, personable guy. And this whole idea that what's happening here is, because to me, the heart of the movie is that he becomes a more complete human by his interaction with this non-human.
Yeah.
And he's able to have this relationship that he couldn't achieve on Earth. But the idea that Ryan Gosling couldn't get laid, for example, doesn't exactly fly very well with me. So I don't think that's a problem he really could have sold, except to go in this direction, which is a little more comedic. I did not find it to be a comedy. I really didn't. I think it would have been very troublesome for most audiences to deal with that character, the character Gosling played, being kind of by himself, and that could have been a real rough ride. Whereas in a book, it's a different mindset.
Yeah.
You've talked a lot, Rob, about the difference between reading a book and watching a movie. These call upon two different sets of synapses to deal with it.
Very much so.
But anyway, it was fun to go into this movie knowing what Dieter thought and what you thought, and then finding out what my 10-year-old grandson thought, and my science fiction fan.
That's the only opinion that matters, Max.
Yep.
Only opinion that matters.
Well, we talked about this too. Every movie is you plus the movie, and it doesn't come up with the same sum at the end for everybody, and it can't, and it shouldn't. Speaking of which, let's talk about special effects.
Okay, now I think you might have seen when we say that, when we talk about special effects, we are talking about the Radiance edition of Larry Cohen's film Special Effects from what, 1980? What was it from?
1984.
84, okay.
This is going to be a little tough because I have a history with Larry Cohen, even though I never met him. And I'll quickly
Dude,
explain.
I used to sit with him. They sat me with him at the Saturn Awards for like 6 years in a row, and I love that guy.
Well, I tend to really like his work, but you kind of got to be a Larry Cohen fan to like his work. I mean, I think he's an you're out kind of guy, because he's extremely quirky. He was a really good screenwriter. Now my connection with him is that he wrote a couple of movies for Bill Lustig, as you know. He wrote the first two Maniac Cop movies, and I was brought in by Bill Lustig. Actually optioned my Nolan series and my Quarry series, and I was supposed to be writing a movie on one of those two properties, and he was working on a movie at that time called Brute Force, which eventually was released as The Expert.
Right.
And I was hired to ghost the movie because they had a Larry Cohen screenplay and they had 2 drafts of the screenplay, and they didn't like the screenplay, but his name was important and they didn't want to pay him any more money. So they went to this guy in Iowa to ghost it. And so I thought it'd be a good experience to learn how to write. And it was a very good experience. But I ended up writing, I think I told you 36, 37 drafts. It was a learning experience, shall we say. And as we got into it after a while, there's this like nothing of Cohen's was left except the names of some of the characters, all of which were from a movie called Brute Force, which this was originally going to be a remake of, a famous film noir about prison. And so character names were held over from that project, but I turned it into my own deal. And this is not to say there was no Cohen in there at all, but the only way they got me to stay on at a certain point where I was getting fed up was, we'll give you screen credit, sole screen credit. And so, okay, then I got to, be a real movie screenwriter. So I did. And then I guess at one point Cohen was going to share billing with me. He had been in the first position. I never talked to him, but he read the screenplay and said, I didn't do any of that. So just put the other guy's name on it. So that was my first connection with him. And the other connection is that he bought the rights to Mike Hammer. And as regular viewers probably know, I'm the guy that I'm part of the Mike Hammer franchise because I was involved with Mickey Spillane, the creator of Mike Hammer, and his estate in continuing the Mike Hammer series. And I'm involved in this supposedly forthcoming Skyboat Paramount production of Mike Hammer. And one of the things we had to wade through was just who owned what of the other Hammer properties. And
Skydance.
Skydance.
Skyboat is our audio drama distributor.
Sorry about that.
Distributor of True Noir, The Assassination of Anton Cermak.
And so I really liked. He did a movie on based on I the Jury. There's 2 I the Jury movies. The one is from the 50s, the 3D movie. You were talking 3D earlier. And in 1981, Cohen did a movie called I the Jury with Armand Asante.
Yeah.
And it's a very tough and sexy movie. And he started directing it. He had written the screenplay, obviously. He started directing it, and he got fired off his own movie. And it was finished by Richard Heffron, I think. Finished that. And I really like that movie. And it's a very kind of Cohen-esque movie because it's one of his scripts. But we should probably pause just for a minute for the people who may not be familiar with Cohen. I mean, this is a guy who came up through TV. He created Branded, which was a fairly major Western show with Chuck Connors. He created The Invaders, which is still a well-known science fiction show and was remade years later. He was one of the key early writers of Columbo. So,
well, I mean, It's Alive.
And then his movies, and he liked to make his own movies, his indie movies. It's Alive, and The Stuff.
God Told Me To.
And Q the Winged Serpent.
Q the Winged Serpent. Quetzalcoatl.
Which has Richard Roundtree in it. Shaft, which makes every movie better when you have some Richard Roundtree in it. That's a movie he was so resilient that when he got fired off of I the Jury, which he was shooting in New York, he quickly put together the Q movie about the Winged Serpent and was shooting at the same time as his other movie. I mean, he was kind of a madman, a genial madman. But now, does that mean special effects is a good movie? Unfortunately, no.
Well, hang on.
Unfortunately-
Let's talk about this because this is
Nice to know, Max. Nice to know.
This is is this the third? Hang on. Is this the third? So, Radiance Films that we love Radiance.
Yeah.
They have a new label, Transmission,
Right.
and this is like
Number
this.
3, I think.
Yeah. Okay. This is number 3 of Transmission. The first was Night of the Juggler, which I'm waiting to get my 4K box set. The second is The Stuntman, or it might be reversed. I'm not sure. And then this is their third. So. It's very exciting. I mean, it's interesting that like this is a film that was hard to find for a while.
Yep.
So tell us about this. First of all, kudos to Radiance for doing it. I mean, Radiance is another. It's interesting, Max, because Radiance is mostly a UK label.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say that somebody who I don't know the specifics of it, but one of the people who started it like came from Arrow or something, or came from Criterion or some. I don't know, because I really don't know anything about Radiance, but I've admired them from afar because I love their titles. I can't wait to get that box set of The Stuntman and Daughters. I ordered Daughters of Darkness and Night of the Juggler and some other things.
It's a total class operation. I mean, they're really great.
Yeah, they're great.
But let me say this about special effects. I think it should not be the first Larry Cohen movie you see.
No, that should be It's Alive.
It's not for civilians. It is a movie for aficionados of, we might say, trash cinema, Dieter. So
Okay,
I'm not saying don't watch it, to just watch it with a certain knowledge of what's going on over there. What's going on over there?
Trash cinema.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I say that with respect, because there's a lot to like in this movie, except that it doesn't really fit together as a story. And the characters behave this way in this scene and another way in another scene. But it's got a very interesting cast. I mean, we got Zoe Lund, who was the star of Abel Ferrara's
MS-45, Miss 45.
Yeah, and a movie in which she has no dialogue. She's mute. And then in this movie, she has a dual role. Very much, there's a certain amount of vertigo in this movie. And she plays two roles. One is this starlet who is murdered. And the other is a woman who is hired to play the starlet in a movie about the murder. A murder committed by the director of the movie. So that's really pretty. You can't ever take away from Cohen that he was an idea man. I mean, he always had a great ideas. In fact, some of the best early Columbos were from scripts or stories of his that were really, really sharp. And Zoe Lund in this movie is very interesting. She's dubbed in the first part of the movie when she's the starlet, and you finally hear this woman's real voice in the second half of the movie. And she's an interesting person, but she was quite widely known to be a heroin addict, and so she's very beautiful but very skinny, shall we say, and that is a little distracting, and it certainly makes it kind of unbelievable that there's these two women that look exactly alike. That
could happen.
It could happen, I guess. And it's the first thing that Eric, what's the actor's name? Basagian? Is that how you say his name?
Bogosian. From Talk Radio.
Yeah.
And Speed 2.
It's before Talk Radio.
Yeah.
Like this is the first.
Because it's your
movie.
show, Bear.
It's a little bit uneven performance, but he's an interesting actor. And it could have been a Columbo episode because it has a cop who's very much a Columbo-esque cop in it. It has its rewards, and it certainly shows how Cohen used New York, particularly gritty Manhattan, New York, as basically it's his back lot. I mean, he just shoots all over the place. Now it has a terrible sound mix. I mean, you often can't hear the dialogue over the sound over the score, which is kind of a hideous computer score, computer music.
So what made you decide to review this?
Because it was Larry Cohen. I really am a fan of his, and I always wanted to see this movie. It's a hard movie to find. I think it maybe was on Blu-ray for a while and went out of print really quickly. It's really interesting if you're a Cohen fan, and Cohen considered it his best movie.
Wow.
Okay.
Which is astounding to me, considering he did some really good movies.
Like God Told Me To.
Well, yes, and
which uses stock footage from Space 1999.
Well, and then he did 3 It's Alive movies. But I mean, really, he has,
and The Stuff and Q, and he also wrote Bestseller. Remember Bestseller with James Woods?
Yes, and we're not even mentioning that he was a major blaxploitation director.
He directed Black Caesar.
That's right, and then he did Original Gangsters years later.
Yeah, which, by the way, is one of my greatest movie. I just want to say, Original Gangsters is one of the greatest movie-going experiences I had in my life. Original Gangsters opened up at the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood, and you're talking Richard Roundtree, Fred Williamson, Pam Grier, all coming back. It has one of the greatest introductions of Fred Williamson ever. A Learjet opens up and he's standing in the Learjet smoking his cigar. And I swear to God, I'm in the Cinerama Dome with 5 other people. First show. And we happy 6, seeing Original Gangsters in the Dome for that first show might have been one of the great movie-going experiences I've ever had, because none of us were quiet. We hooted and hollered the whole time. We were patting each other on the back from a distance. That was Larry Cohen. That's what he did for people. He brought you together.
Well, also he was he had a social conscience, and these movies they have a social conscience. So when you come into this movie, if you don't know what you're in for, it seems like it's an hardcore exploitation, a lot of nudity and mindless violence. And then you realize that the movie does turn itself on you.
Yeah.
I just wish the story were a little more coherent. I mean, I'm a little bit of a stickler about that, and that the characters behaved in a consistent way. But if you can overlook those 2 little flaws, you're going to have a real good time. But definitely, Dieter, go ahead and watch.
I'll give it a watch, Max. I'll give it a watch.
No,
you hopefully calibrated me in the right way for it.
I think so. I mean, it just isn't for. I mean, he's kind of like Larry Cohen is like if Ed Wood had talent. Okay?
Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. I got to object to that. Larry Cohen was a little bit better than that, because he did write highbrow Hollywood scripts.
He did.
Like, I bring up Bestseller. It was like James Woods and Brian Dennehy or whatever. I don't even remember. I saw them. But
I'm talking about the director, not the screenwriter.
No, but there was something about that, and I'll tell you something. Having sat with him at the Saturn Awards, I don't know why I kept getting, back when I was when I curried favor for 25 years with the Saturn Awards people, with Robert and everybody and the Marcus brothers. I loved him. And so every year I would sit with him at the Saturn Awards, and they were hours long, and we would just gab the whole time. And he was a total New York Jew. He was totally just like charismatic and funny as hell. And he had no, the word that I would describe him as, he was bemusing to me. I was bemused by Larry Cohen, because he was completely taken aback by how much I knew about his career and how much I loved, his movies. And I got to ask him, one of the great questions of my life was, why is there stock footage of Space 1999 in God Told Me To? Why? And he said, I didn't fucking know it was from Space 1999. They didn't tell me. I was like, because it's the travel pod, and It's not an eagle. And I just thought that was hilarious. And, he made the stuff. I actually, to be honest, the first time I ever met Larry Cohen was in 1984 when my friend Shade Roop and I was between my junior and senior year in high school. And we took my first road trip. Shade was a year beneath me. We saved up all summer. I had like 10 grand in my pocket. And we drove from Seattle to San Francisco, then to stay with my aunt, and then to Palm Springs and to stay with his aunt. And then we went to the 42nd World Science Fiction Convention in Anaheim. And they were promoting The Stuff, his movie The Stuff. And they had giant, like, full-size stuff barrels, and he was there. And that was the first time I ever talked to him. And maybe that was why I always gave him the time of day at the Saturn Awards, because he was like one of the first directors that I had ever met in that kind of situation. I'd met Martin Brest on interviewing him for Beverly Hills Cop, but he was a delight. He was such a raconteur. He was so funny and witty. And I think it was interesting that he would write big studio pictures and then make these, like, It's Alive, and then he made Island of the Alive and It Lives Again. I mean, wild dude. I mean, Quetzalcoatl.
I forgot to mention the fact that the protagonist in this movie, who was also the murderer, and I'm not giving anything away, it's the premise, is a director.
Right. Yeah.
And he was a director. Now, remember, he had just been, like a couple years before, had been fired off The Jury, which was kind of a big deal movie at the time. And this director has just been fired off a movie. So he basically based the protagonist on himself, who was
autobiographical.
But that was too glib of me to say that, because he deserved better than
not on this show.
Than the Ed Wood comment. But I think if you don't understand he has this social conscience and you go into special effects, it's going to be working on you in a way that you don't want it to work on you, because you're going in for sort of the exploitation joy, and you're finding out that he's telling you why the way you're looking at the world may be a little skewed. So anyway, I really do recommend this movie to those who are in the know, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So then also another. Now this may seem like inappropriate in terms of content, because it's a science fiction piece, but this is the latest magnificent hammer box of a movie called Spaceways, and I tell you what. To go back just momentarily to Project Hail Mary, to see this movie and Project Hail Mary in a row, to see a 1952 science fiction movie from Great Britain, and then see a 2026 science fiction movie from Hollywood, a little time seems to have passed.
A short time span.
And this movie is. It's really a problem with these hammer boxes, because again, you have to say this is for the aficionado. This is for science fiction fans, hardcore science fiction movie fans. It's for hardcore hammer fans. As a movie, it's just kind of interesting. Doesn't suck, okay?
Right.
That's not a great thing to put on the cover of your release, I understand. And it has the usual incredible stuff, like a really thick book, beautifully produced with all kinds of stuff in it. Here we are. Just really, really full of essays.
Well, these hammer releases are amazing.
It's an amazing release, but it does have. It is actually not inappropriate for me to discuss, because it has a film noir aspect to it, and some film noir connections. For one thing, Howard Duff is the lead. Howard Duff was most famous for playing Sam Spade
Yep.
on the radio. Playing Sam Spade on the radio, this shows the power of radio in those days, turned him into a movie star. He became a movie star, so that when he was in movies, initially it would say right on the poster, starring Radio Sam Spade, Howard Duff, which is, shows you what the power of that medium was. Right around this same time, he was in, I mentioned Brute Force. He was in Brute Force, a Jules Dassin movie, as was Naked City, one of the great film noir.
Yep.
Very influential, and a particularly good noir called Shakedown. Really, really good little noir, and I think it's available on one of the Kino film noir boxes, of which there are only maybe 150 boxes, but you'll find it if you look for it. He's fine in this movie, and his co-star is this. What is her name? She's a very, very beautiful gal. I should just look at the cover. Anyway, he has a beautiful co-star, and it's directed by Terence Fisher. And again, that's big time Hammer, because that's Dracula and Frankenstein, the guy that first did them. The writer's a guy named Paul Tabori, who was very prolific but kind of minor. And here's what a science fiction movie from Great Britain was in 1952. Here's the subject. They're testing a rocket to try to get it into orbit to see if someday they could do a space station. That's it.
There's nothing wrong with that. It was 1952, bruh.
Yeah, but look at the cover. Look at the cover. I mean, if you didn't think you were going to get Space 1999, I don't know what you'd think.
Well, it was the year before War of the Worlds, but it was after Destination Moon and
everybody in America was going to planets, and they were just going to, I don't know, Birmingham.
The British were more reserved. They were more reserved.
Yeah,
they weren't as full of themselves as we Americans were at the time.
Well, and rightfully so, but let's just say, what else is noir about this? The basic plot, and I don't know which is the A plot and which is the B plot, but there is a kind of James M. Cain cheating wife, cheating husband kind of thing going on, and the two cheaters disappear in tandem, and they're people who are working on the rocket, and they disappear at the same time. And so they begin to suspect that those bodies were put on the rocket that's gone into orbit. So then there's a whole detective story about trying to solve this murder that may have happened. So it is a murder mystery. But the Hammer noir stuff doesn't have a lot of a noir look. It doesn't have that really. If you look at the movies of the 40s and early 50s, this isn't the big combo. It doesn't have that dramatic cinematography, that John Alton kind of cinematography that so many of those movies had. So again, if you're a Hammer fan, if you're a science fiction enthusiast, particularly of movies, this is a great thing to get. If you think you're getting Destination Moon, you aren't. Okay, so two others just very briefly, both from Kino. One is, and this is not really a mystery, it's a suspense movie, but I really like this. I had seen this at the time, Dante Speak.
Awesome.
I saw it at the time, and I don't remember being hugely impressed. But
are you a Dante's Peak or a Volcano guy?
I can't remember Volcano.
See, I'm a Volcano guy.
And that's why you're
Volcano?
a Dante's Peak guy, Max.
Pardon me?
It's everybody's.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
That's why you are Dante's Peak.
Well, yeah,
guy, Max, because you don't remember Volcano, just as I don't remember Volcano.
Who was in Volcano?
Anne Heche and Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay, I still don't remember it.
You guys, you know what? Look, Dante's Peak is Deep Impact. Volcano is Armageddon.
Okay. Okay. I tell you what I liked about this movie. It was really fun to see Pierce Brosnan in what was basically the biggest movie he had between GoldenEye and the second Bond movie he did.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
He's very much he's very much at his peak movie starness.
Yeah, exactly.
And so is Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
From the Terminator movies, and they're terrific together. The script is by the guy that did Daylight, which we talked about a week or two ago.
Which is also
it's
out
a
on
very-
Kino-
That's why they
Kino
do a great double feature. Daylight and Under Speak, great double
I agree.
feature.
I agree, and it's a really a good disaster movie. I think both those
Yeah.
two are two of the best of the disaster movies. And I should give the guy's name. He Leslie Bone.
Yeah.
He also did The Alamo, which not John Wayne's, but the one that's more accurate.
Did Leslie Bone write The Lost Boys?
I don't remember seeing that pop up when I did some research. Someone will check us on that. But the director is a good director, Roger Donaldson. He's kind of disappeared, but for a while he was very hot. He did 13 Days. He did
Species.
the Getaway remake. He did the first Species movie.
Yeah. Maybe that's
But
what
I
I'm
don't
thinking of.
think he's done anything since about 2017. But a good director. What I really liked about it, as just a movie guy, I loved the practical effects.
No, you know what? He did not do Lost Boys, but he did do A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. He did Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. And he did Daylight, Dante's Peak, obviously The Alamo in 2004. And House 3, The Horror Show.
That's a pretty good CV if you get right down to it.
Pretty good. Pretty being the operative word.
The practical effects and all the miniatures, it made me long for the pre-CGI days. They were very effective. It was a real ride. It was a real ride to watch to see that movie. It was a great evening. Now the other one I probably liked even more, and I like both of them. Again, this is another Kino. Uncommon Valor, which again, it's not a mystery, but it sure is a suspense story. This is, to me, the best of. There's a whole spate of the go back to Vietnam after the fact, and
Rambo, the first Rambo. First Blood Part 2.
The same director did
Ted Kotcheff, who directed First Blood, directed this Uncommon
yes,
Valor.
That's right. So in a way, this could be seen as a follow-up to Rambo. It's an amazing cast of male actors. I mean, Fred Ward, Reb Brown, and Reb Brown is really good in this movie.
The first Captain America.
Yes, and Randall Tex Cobb, he's great. Patrick Swayze, got to be one of his earliest, co-starring roles. Tim Thomerson, who's fabulous in this
Jack
movie.
Death from Trancers.
And then getting bottom billing, but special billing, Robert Stack.
Yeah, I know, right?
And it's not all testosterone. There's several women in it too, particularly I guess they're Laotian women. It's a great action movie. It's got a lot going for it. It really is it's a Dirty Dozen movie, a little bit of a Magnificent Seven kind of movie where you've got that whole front end of the guy who's rounding up the team. And there's nothing in here you haven't seen before, but you haven't seen it done any better, really. And I couldn't have had a better time than that. This was funny because this is one that I don't think I saw it at the time. I remember going to the Chuck Norris. I think Chuck Norris did 3 of these, and
Missing in Action.
I remember liking the first one of those, but this is different. Gene Hackman. Let's never forget what a wonderful actor that guy was. He could sell things with just a kind of quiet humanity that you don't see much of in any era. So those are my those are my recommendations.
Well,
Right.
Max,
Right.
I would say that those are what an eclectic mix of
Mix.
titles.
Yeah.
2 Kino Lorbers in there, a Radiance title. Always good to promote the boutique labels.
No Warner Archives this week, but I've got a few on the way.
Yeah,
So
no, there's so many. I'm still trying to get you onto that to get you onto the train,
The
the
mailing
review
list.
copy train.
I would love that. But he can have my money if he has to have it.
I should say, by the way, you and I are going to be at an event at the end of May, the last Thursday and Friday of May. Right?
Yes, it is at the Putnam Museum, which is an IMAX theater. In
An IMAX
Davenport,
theater.
Iowa.
And Thursday, I want to say is it the 28th and 29th of May?
Well, I've got a calendar right here.
It's the final Thursday and Friday of May. So any of you watching, you can come
Right.
to Davenport, Iowa, and the 28th and 29th of May. On the 28th, we will be showing the Maltese Falcon, the new 4K restoration. And then Max Allen Collins will be on stage, and I will interview him about the process of writing The Return of the Maltese Falcon, written by Max Allen Collins, and
Wait a
we will
minute.
be
Let's all hold it up. Let's all hold it up.
take a
Everyone
picture.
hold it up. Okay. That was pretty
So
cool.
we will be discussing the process of writing the book after screening the Maltese Falcon in IMAX, and then the next night, Friday the 29th, look at that. We will be playing the first 4 episodes of True Noir, The Assassination of Anton Cermak, in 5.1 in an IMAX theater. Like
It's a big, beautiful theater.
my dream when I was doing this audio drama as the director, producer, editor, whatever, impresario of this whole thing, my dream was to be able to show this, or to not show it, but to play it in a theater, to hear it in booming surround sound. I mean, I know it's only an audio drama, and I am going to have this realized in your neck of the woods. So we're going to play the first 4 episodes, and that takes us through Anthony LaPaglia's 1-episode stint as Al Capone. And we're going to you'll hear Katie Sackhoff's wonderful performance, and you'll hear Jeffrey Combs as Anton Cermak. As a matter of fact, we are going to try and get some of the cast out there. I don't know if they can come, but
Have we approached Katie?
well, I have not. But
Because I think she'd be the ultimate one to have.
I mean, she's so good in episode 2 and 3, and she might be really interested.
I think it'd be great.
It'd be great. And Michael Rosenbaum, we've changed the dates. I haven't checked in on him, but I'd love to see her come out because she's what a delight, and this is the kind of thing that I think she might really appreciate. So it's at the Putnam. The Putnam was the first technology museum in the United States, I believe. And so that's in Davenport, Iowa, and that will be on May 28th and 29th.
Well, we showed, or they showed, I didn't have anything to do with it, said was a guest, Road Tradition on that big screen. And it wasn't even, it was off of a Blu-ray.
Right.
And it still looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I'll just put out there in the ether I guess who has Paramount has Perdition. Why don't you put out a 4K?
I don't understand. It's Amblin, isn't it? Amblin. It's Amblin Entertainment too, right?
No, DreamWorks.
I mean,
DreamWorks.
okay. Pardon me. That's what I meant. DreamWorks. Yes.
Yeah.
Where is that
I'd like
for?
to see that
I don't know.
4K in that theater. That would.
But
be
in our
something.
news section, Paramount is there. We're going to talk about some Paramount titles coming out, so we can do that.
Okay, guys, I'm afraid the C Wing is still shuttered for right now.
It's okay.
We still have some legal issues. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
working
Well,
on it.
I heard Cash
Call your
Patel.
lawyer.
Cash Patel actually. Luckily, he was going to take care of the investigation himself, but he he has his own problems, so he stopped and pulled the FBI off.
Well, I guess that's who, I never can remember the guy's. Well, whoever the guy was, I can tell you, when I presented him the bill for all of the damage that he and his people had created, his eyes uncrossed.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I understand.
And he didn't pay, but he will eventually pay.
Oh, he will. Faux show. Max, I want to thank you very much for showing up. Thank you for the great reviews. Very much appreciate it. You're one of my favorite people in all the world. And by the way, if you have yet to read True Noir, well, that's not what this is, but this is The Return of the Maltese Falcon. You should get it. It's a great book. And Max, you know what? You read this book and you're thinking, when are you going to write more Sam Spade?
Well, we may have an announcement to make. If all goes well at the Putnam, we'll make that announcement.
Okay.
I should know by then what the scoop is. And I just want to say I always enjoy my time spent with you gentlemen. Did you have anything you needed me for in terms of
Super chats, perhaps, Rob? I don't know.
Oh, that's, you know what? That's good of you to ask. So hang on.
I don't think there was anything.
So Major Chai Chai says, I got my copy of Magritte Sees Red, which you talked about. Bruno Kremer, Magritte series box set. Also saw Magritte and the Saint Fiacre case. Thanks for the recommendation, Max.
The two, Kino has announced repackages, I guess, on those other two Magritte mysteries. With
Magritte, okay, that's good.
Yeah. So they'll be coming, and maybe we'll have a box set.
Richard Curtis has ordered 2 titles from Severin by Jess Franco. One of them, he just writes VL and SKIE. I've got to be careful what I type. YouTube seems to be censor happy. They should arrive on Tuesday, and I can't wait to see them in 4K. Richard Curtis, I'm right there with you, and I can't even say it. You never know. 8-Bit Site says, back to the moon-ish on Thursday. Let's go Artemis 2. Very exciting. Artemis 2. Hopefully we will be going back to the moon. We'll see. I think what NASA is doing with their new... Thank God under the Trump administration, the new NASA administrator wasn't going to be. Now he is. It's one of the great things that the Trump administration has done, has made the current NASA administrator. So you go. Let's see what happens. 8-Bit Site says 3 ex-wives. Did Svetlana come back between seasons? I don't know what you're referring to. 3 ex-wives. Yeah, she probably did. Richard Curtis goes on to say, a friend wanted some film recommendations for me this weekend. He's so far watched The Guest, Drive, Requiem for a Dream, Dead Man, and Ghost Dog. He's given them all nothing below a 7 out of 10. Well, what did he think of Requiem for a Dream? One of the most uplifting family films you could ever watch.
The Guest below a 7. Unbelievable.
I'm waiting for the musical version.
Well, there you go. 8-Bit Site says, not a fan of the Gordoed term. Gordo and Tracy were heroes just for one day. I see what you did there. Hopefully we'll get justice for Steven's family this season. All I can say is, for you lovers of For All Mankind, Episode 3 of this season, Home, just bring some Kleenex on multiple levels. And what really sucks is, as soon as they reduce the screen...
With every series, Rob. With every series.
You're going to watch
I hate it.
I hate it. 8-Bit Site also says, loving Paradise Season 2, even if it's getting lost-ish. I don't know about that, but we'll see. I can see that. Let's see. Med 90, what is it? 95, 90, Live Long and Prosper. says, Robin Dieter, one of my favorite vampire horror movies is 30 Days of Night. It's getting a 4K steal from Icon Film Distribution. Hopefully Arrow Video will do a box set as they released the Blu-ray years ago. Cheers, Mark. I like 30 Days of Night. You know, it's based on that great comic. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I liked it. So we were caught up. We were caught up on Super Chats, Max, so that means I can let you go.
Thank you, gentlemen. I will see you next week.
You will. And thanks for being here. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the great Max Allen Collins, and we're happy to have him. Max, be seeing you.
See you next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Max Allen Collins. What were you going to say, Dietz?
Like you said, Rob, I hate it with every streaming show. When the window already closes and the credits has just started rolling, and immediately in 4 seconds you will get to the next episode or something different. I hate it.
I do too. I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
One thing of streaming that I hate, and like you said, considering that third episode that you said would be really tearjerker, then immediately to get that window closed.
And the thing is, the third episode of For All Mankind, they do something over the opening credits. Now, here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's one of the things about For All Mankind I find, now as an aside, I find interesting. I grew up as a child watching the moon landings. You know, I was 2 when the first moon landing happened, but by 1972 as a child, astronauts were my favorite thing in the world. I knew all the names of the astronauts. I knew so much about the space program. And I think one of the things because I always get people saying they couldn't get into For All Mankind. And,
I don't know why, Rob. I don't know why.
Well, to me, it's. I think that there's just a lot of people out there, younger people, that have no connection to the space program. And you know, if you were born in 1980 or 1990, I mean, hell, you've seen YouTube videos. Did we really go to the moon? You know. And I've watched YouTube videos that prove why we couldn't have faked going to the moon. We had to go to the moon. But, you know, look, we live in a world where there are people that believe the earth is flat. Okay. But I think that's the problem. If you have a connection, like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Right Stuff, and For All Mankind delves into that. I mean, there are people that come after me and go, you know, this show it's all about girl bosses. I'm like, okay, the United States started an all-female astronaut program called the Mercury 13 in 1959 and 60. That was a real thing. It was scuttled. What the people For All Mankind, who make All Mankind, they took real shit and they extrapolated upon it and put it into their alternate timeline. And so, you know, people are mistaking what they consider woke or over-representation or whatever with real history. And the thing about For All Mankind is it takes ideas and extrapolates them. Again, it's what my favorite thing is. If A, B, C, and D are true, then E, F, G, H, I are also true. That's what For All Mankind does. And, you know, if you're down, yes, season 3 gets a little soap opera-y. But for the most part, I love For All Mankind, especially if you're a fan. I mean, I lived the whole period they're recreating, I lived through. So it's really interesting to see what they do. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And if you remember, Rob, at the beginning of the first season, they wanted to send something, you know, really pretty up in space, just for the promotion.
Right.
You know? But they decided the most qualified goes up there.
Yeah.
Woman goes up there. You know?
It was incredible. The Soyuz mission,
sure.
the link, it was what they did was incredible.
Was great.
And to me, they take, in terms of the ideas of civil rights, the idea of LGBTQ representation, they do it the correct way, where it's all based in history, and it's fantastic. And all I am going to say is that episode 3, really, really works. And
Yeah.
there's just one image over the credits, one ongoing image that shows us something that if you know the show. So, okay, for the Americans, we had three basically very different space programs. We had the Mercury program, where we had the Mercury 7 astronauts. That's what the Right Stuff details. Then we had the Gemini or Gemini program, which had 2 astronauts per trip, and they did interesting things. And then the Apollo program. We know that Ed Baldwin was part of the Gemini program. And so was another person that, if you love the show and you know the show and you understand, we've never seen a representation of Gemini in the show. And I'm just going to say that episode 3, for you space nuts and people who love For All Mankind, bring a box of Kleenex and be ready to just, it's not like it's a post-credit scene, but it honors something in a way that you know how smart. I so wish that the people making Star Trek were a tenth as aware of what they were working on as the people that work on For All Mankind. Because that third season, the third episode is called Home.
Okay.
Anyway, where are we at, Dietz? What's going on?
Yeah.
Where are we at? News?
Talking about For All Mankind, and like you said, Rob, I wanted to have Project Hail Mary, that type of For All Mankind vibe, considering the dangers that are lurking in space.
Look, you know? I'm with you. I can't, I can't disagree.
Yeah.
But
so I think, Rob, if we don't have any super jets left, we could step into what is coming out. What do you have in store for us?
Out? Well, Dietz, one of the great things is when a couple of years back, Disney started to get back on the physical media train, and one of their flagship releases was Avatar.
Yeah,
they released new Avatar versions in these slipcase box sets, and they released the second Avatar movie in 3D as well. They did 2 releases, and thank God they're doing it again. They are releasing Avatar as a 3D Blu-ray for those who can still watch it.
Yeah.
There's the 3D regular slipcased O-ring disc for Fire and Ash, which, by the way, I really, really liked. So can't wait to get that. And they are also releasing their full-on, in the same format, but with black, which I love, the 4K Avatar Fire and Ash with Viraj or whatever, Virag. What's her name? So Avatar is it's very exciting that they're giving us both releases, just like they did with Avatar: The Way of Water.
And I'm sure there will be way more coming, Rob. Steelbook and whatever you.
Yeah, but these are the 2 things that I got, and it's great to have. It's great to.
Certainly. Yeah.
It's great that we were able to get these as that they're continuing on. So good on them.
I'm expecting once again to get 178:1 aspect ratio.
Yeah.
Those versions.
And those discs were incredible. So good on them for doing it, and I'm glad that we are in fact getting them. Now, this next one.
Yeah.
This next release, very, very, very exciting that we are getting this from Warner Home Video. The first release of this movie did not do well when it first came out, even though I saw this movie in the Warner lot. I thought it was incredible. It was the Wachowskis following up The Matrix, and they took it upon themselves. I mean, obviously, The Matrix was inspired by Japanese animation, and they went back. This was a movie. I read scripts at Silver Pictures. I read Speed Racer screenplays back in 1990. They had been trying to make this movie for decades. And the funny thing was, the scripts in everybody was writing Days of Thunder. They never understood that Speed Racer was fantasy. It was science fiction. They didn't get it. We didn't understand. In America, when we tried to westernize Japanese animation, we took out the whimsy. We took out the familial element. Well, and then when they put it out on Blu-ray, we only got it as a BD25.
Yeah.
The sound
was one of the first Blu-rays, Rob. It was really, really early.
It was really early, and it wasn't great. Now, with the cult around this movie, and everybody is waiting for this is something that Warner Brothers, I'm sure they might have offered this to Arrow, but I believe Warner Brothers themselves is putting this out. Yeah. We are getting a full-blown Speed Racer special edition. I can only imagine what the Atmos soundtrack is. Now, they have been screening this. My friend Clark Von Trotha went to see it at the Hollywood Theater in Portland, Oregon, and said it looked absolutely spectacular. So I think this is coming out in May. And look, this is not everybody's cup of tea. I get it.
No,
I totally understand. But as a child of the 60s and 70s, and I love Speed Racer. I really love this movie. I love what they did. Emile Hirsch was great. Matthew Fox was great. John Goodman was great. Susan Sarandon was great. I love everything about this movie. Michael Giacchino's score is amazing. So it's coming out in May.
For considering a double dipping, it's okay, Rob, after so many years. It's not just months after the first release. So
well, it's like Ben-Hur. We have that. The new Ben-Hur is infinitely better than the last Ben-Hur HD release. So very exciting to see this coming. And not to be outdone, we've got this. Zulu Dawn is coming in a full-blown special edition. And this comes to us from Severin Films. This is Douglas Hickox's Zulu Dawn, starring from 79, Burt Lancaster, Simon Ward, Denholm Elliott, Peter O'Toole, and James Faulkner. And so this is the collector's edition Blu-ray. Of course, Bob Hoskins is also in this. This is an awesome prequel to the 1964 classic Zulu. So there you go. If you're a fan of that, again, a great war movie, there you go. Then we're getting a 4K of a recent release that I loved. I saw it in the theater. Cold Storage. Cold Storage comes to us. This was a total throwback. Night of the Comet, Return of the Living Dead, creature features like the 80s. We're getting that. This comes out from Samuel Goldwyn Films. Liam Neeson is in this, so I'm really excited to get this. I really like this movie. It was a lot of fun. Kino Lorber is giving us The Maverick Queen with Barbara Stanwyck. Very exciting. And it's from 1956. More classic stuff coming out from Kino Lorber, taking a page from Warner Archive. And now, Dietz, we come to Arrow. Arrow's releases, they announced their June releases, and they've got another banger slate, beginning with a 4K version of the Australian film Wake in Fright that has been released before, back down under. But if you didn't want to spend that money, this is a new 4K restoration of the film. It is Dolby Vision. It has a ton of special features. And actually, I like this movie. I like Wake in Fright.
I'm thinking about it, Rob. Was the Umbrella one, was that a 4K?
It might not have been. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I'm not sure at the moment.
Yeah. And then they're putting out, this is kind of interesting. This is a surprise. The film Marlowe. Marlowe speak about Raymond Chandler, Humphrey Bogart, James Gardner. This is Philip Marlowe into the Age of Aquarius in this 1969 neo-noir based on Raymond Chandler's classic novel, The Little Sister. So Gardner's easygoing style is a perfect match for Chandler's shop-soiled Galahad, paving the way for his performance in the classic TV show The Rockford Files. Jackie Coogan is in this. Rita Moreno is in this. Gail Honeycutt is in this, and Bruce Lee makes his American feature debut in Marlowe. So how crazy is that? That's coming out from 1969. 69, dude. And then we have, of course, the Arrow version of Bullet in the Head, John Woo's Vietnam film. This film is incredible. I love Bullet in the Head. Again, another movie I've waited for to get the Arrow version. Love this movie. Can't wait to get it.
Cover artwork is great.
Yeah, I love these. The cover artwork's amazing. I love these films.
Totally fitting with Hardboiled.
Totally. And the killer, too. Takashi Miike comes back with Audition in 4K. I mean, how many times have I bought this movie? I don't know. A lot.
Yeah.
But it's great. I don't know if this is the first time that it's on 4K. I thought I had it on 4K. Probably not.
No, Rob. I think this is the first time. I think it was shot on 16 millimeter. But I'm not sure.
Well, I will definitely get this. If you haven't seen Audition,
but I believe this is the first time, Rob. I don't remember a 4K for Audition.
Yeah, well, definitely going to pick this up. And then, if you know, you know. And then, of course, another Warner Brothers new line, Mortal Kombat box set. Look at that. Mortal Kombat Collection, spelled KOLLECTION in 4K. This is, you've got disc 1 is Mortal Kombat, disc 2 is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. This comes out June 30th. So there you go.
I didn't even notice, Rob, that was the collection. Thanks for showing me that.
Spelled with a K. Spelled with a K. Yeah, so that's good. And then one of 2 giant Jackie Chan box sets. This is Jackie Chan's Breakout Hits Box 1, 4K. 4K. It's a 10-disc collection. Here's what we've got. Drunken Master 2. Rumble in the Bronx, the Hong Kong cut. Rumble in the Bronx, the international cut. Thunderbolt. Police Story 4 First Strike, the Hong Kong cut. Police Story 4 First Strike, the international cut. Mr. Nice Guy, both the Japanese and Hong Kong cuts. Mr. Nice Guy, the international cut. Who Am I, the Hong Kong cut. And Who Am I, the international cut. Wow. And if your hunger for Jackie Chan isn't sated by that, then we have this. We have the Jackie Chan box set volume 2 is coming.
No, this is not, Rob. This is the same. This is the same, just a limited edition with a different cover.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. It is. I thought it's 2 box sets. It's not. You're right. This is the limited edition.
And I love how they titled it with the breakout hits. Because for me, Rob, Jackie has 3 phases. First, the kung fu stuff from the early days. Then his stuff in the Hong Kong days from the 80s when he refined his action comedy. And then here, his breakout hits, his breakthrough in the States with Rumble in the Bronx and those movies.
Yeah. You know? Totally. So this is the box set you're getting from them. I'm sorry, it's just 1 box set, but it's 2 different versions.
1 box. This was different cover artworks, yeah. But same price.
Same price.
No different, yeah.
And then Unearthed Films is
and it's great, Rob. Sorry to interrupt. That they put the different cuts of the movie. You know, there's always longer cuts, international cuts for those movies. You know,
100%
stuff in it.
Totally.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. And then of course we're getting Unearthed Films is releasing a Blu-ray release of Shinya Tsukamoto's Tetsuo the Bullet Man from 2009. So if you're interested, you can get that. Then we're getting another Hammer release. Max probably could tell you more than I could about this, but this is 36 hours. AKA Terror Street from 1953. So that's coming out, which is great. And then we have Blue Underground's, they've been talking about this a lot. We've reported on this before, but Circle of Iron, based on an idea from Bruce Lee, starring David Carradine, is coming out in 4K. That's a pretty cool cover. And then I bet you're going to get this. The
Okay.
Yeti.
But it's a
Wellgo
new
USA
movie.
is
I
putting
see.
this
I
out.
see. It's a new movie, Rob.
Yeah, Bill Sadler's in this. Bill Sadler
Yeah.
from True Noir, The Assassination of Anton Cermak. Of course, Corbin Burnson and Jim Cummings is in this. The Yeti is I mean, what's not to love about a movie about when an oil tycoon and a famous adventurer vanish into the harsh winter of remote northern Alaska, a hand-picked rescue team endeavors to bring them home. What they don't know is that they are trespassing on the Yeti's territory, and the elements are the least of their worries. A blood-splattered survival horror featuring a towering beast and gruesome practical effects. Well, there you go. Maybe
Who puts that movie out, Rob? Wellgo USA.
Wellgo USA is putting this out.
Okay.
Not their usual
Okay, nice.
fare,
Get it.
but hey.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we have Prison. Okay, now we're going down to Imprint. We're going back
Yeah.
down under, and they're doing their versions of the Golden Harvest movies. So we've
Golden
got
Princess movies, Rob.
yeah, Golden. Oh, pardon me, Gordon. I always say Golden Harvest. Golden Princess, Prison on Fire 1 and 2. Then we're getting. This is a different. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit, but they're also putting out. Actually, no. You know what? I should just stay in order. I did this. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
Okay.
Oops. Look what I've done. I've messed it all up. Let's go back to Prison on Fire 1 and 2. So, yes. So it's Prison on Fire, and they are releasing Prison on Fire, and then they are going to release their version of Bullet in the Head. And again, probably the same transfers as everyone's releasing, but you get them in the U.S., the U.K., or now Down Under. And I do love this movie a great deal. And then we're getting Once a Thief, which is a steelbook version of Once a Thief. And then we are also getting The Adventures, The Adventurous Woman in the Tang Dynasty and the Reincarnation of Golden Lotus. So that is their version of these films. So if you're interested, you can get them down under. I'm sure Kelvin will probably get those because they're easier to get and probably a lot less expensive.
Correct.
Then we also have finally Imprints putting out The Missing Gun. I don't know if this is one of the Golden Princess movies. Is it?
Me neither, Rob. Never heard of this movie.
Yeah, I don't know this movie. Don't hold it against me that I don't know it, but I don't know it.
Could even be a newer movie, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but it looks 90s like.
Yeah. Mondo Macabro is putting out Queen of the Black Magic. And they're also putting out Mystics in Bali. This is Mondo Macabro. These are standard Blu-ray editions of The Queen of Black Magic and Mystics of Bali from 1981. And, you know, you got to love movies like that. What's not to love? Look at those covers. You know you want them. Sex and Violence and Spirituality from Indonesia, probably. Then we have coming to us from the UK, Eureka, Oh, What a Lovely War. Starting out with that, Richard Attenborough directed this. And this comes from John Littlewood's 1963 stage musical of the same name. Oh, What a Lovely War restages the events of the Great War as the film traces the progression of the conflict from the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand to the armistice of November 1918. It intertwines the fortunes of Everyman Smith family with performances of popular wartime music, from the recruitment song, I'll Make a Man Out of You, to the Airman's Anthem, The Bells of Hell Go Ting-a-ling-a-ling. So, featuring a who's who of British acting talent, you know you want it. The Masters of Cinema series is honored to present Oh, What a Lovely War on Blu-ray for the first time anywhere in the world. So that's Eureka, Masters of Cinema. Then we have Madhouse. It's a Madhouse coming to us from Eureka, and this is a horror title. And, you know you want it, right? I mean, it's horror. And if you don't know what this is, I'm going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
This is it's another Amicus film. You know, they did Dr. Terror's House of Horrors and things like that. This is a film about the horror genre itself. And so, coming out, you know, it's got a lot of special features. It's Eureka, What's Not to Love. Then we have this. Eureka is putting out a version of Empire of the Ants. So you go, Eureka. Who doesn't love Empire of the Ants? Well, a lot of people don't, but I love that Eureka is putting this out as their Masters. Well, this isn't Masters of Cinema branded, but why not?
No.
It should be, damn it, you prejudicial fucks. Yeah. What's not to love? Empire of the Ants. Then we jump over to Fallout Season 2 coming out on a steelbook.
Loved it.
Yeah, so good. So Alliance Entertainment is putting this out. And they're going to... Alliance Entertainment is putting this out. So there you go. There is the steelbook. And then we have... we jump over to Brimstone and Treacle. Vinegar Syndrome released this already, but Screenbound Pictures in Britain is releasing their 4K version of Richard Lawn Crane's Brimstone and Treacle, starring Sting, Denholm Elliott, Joan Plowright, Susanna Hamilton, and Benjamin Withrow. This is a great movie if you haven't seen it. It's surprising, interesting, and it stars Sting. So Cult Epics is putting out this one that I already previewed. Don't Play with Fire, and this is a Blu-ray release of Dangerous Encounters of the First Kind, aka Don't Play with Fire, from 1980. Ronnie Yu is in this, and so is Sweetheart. So there you go, early Sui, or Sui, however you pronounce his name. Then 88 Films is bringing to us Phase 4. I already have it from Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah. But they're putting it out. I'm not saying that it isn't great. I bet it probably is. I love this movie. If you don't have it, I think the Vinegar Syndrome Special Edition is long sold out, but now you can get another box set from 88 Films. They do a great job.
Smaller one.
Yeah, and then we have, again, from Mondo Macabro, from 1967, we're getting Island of the Doomed, a.k.a. Island of Death, with Cameron Mitchell. What's not to love? Hey, I don't know. Look at that cover. If it's your thing, get it. And then Jessica Chastain, a favorite redhead of mine, is in Dreams, coming to us from Greenwich Entertainment and Kino Lorber. And they're putting this out. It's from 2025 this year. Rupert Friend, Jessica Chastain, Marshall Bell, and Bobby August Jr. So that's coming out if you want it. And then an Ealing Studio movie. I wish I knew more about this. This is the true title. The Titfield Thunderbolt 4K Blu-ray. Studio Canal has been doing a lot of Ealing Studio movies, like, of course, Kind Hearts and Coronets. And they're putting this out. It's a combo pack of Charles Crichton's classic comedy, The Titfield Thunderbolts, or Thunderbolt, starring Stanley Holloway, George Ralph, Naughton Wayne, John Gregson, and Jeffrey Turrell. Or Godfrey Turrell? I don't know. It's British. Who knows what they are? And so here you go. A comical and delightful tale of community spirit written by the celebrated Ealing regular and Academy Award winner T.E.B. Clark, The Lavender Hill Mob, and directed by Charles Crichton, who also directed The Lavender Hill Mob and A Fish Called Wanda and Space 1999 episodes. So there you go. And it's called The Titfield Thunderbolt. I've always thought of myself as a Titfield Thunderbolt my whole life. What does that mean? I don't know, but I'd like to think of myself as one. Then we go to Paramount. This is crazy. It is.
Yeah.
This movie came out in 1996, 30 years ago. Escape from L.A. Paramount is putting this out in a steelbook, and I don't really like this movie, but I'm gonna fucking buy this shit. Look at that. Come on.
It's a little bit of a guilty pleasure, but the strange thing again, Rob, is this one Paramount is putting out, and other stuff, greater stuff, they are licensing out. You know, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
It's so bizarre. It makes no sense. It's the world we live in.
It
Dogs
looks
and
great.
cats.
The steelbook looks
Yeah,
great.
steelbook looks great. Totally gonna get it.
Guilty pleasure for me.
Totally. Mila Jovovich, The Protector, coming out on Blu-ray. You saw this already, right?
I'm raising my hand. No, I have not seen that one, Rob. I showed last week Worldbreaker, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, are you going to buy The Protector?
Yes, Rob. Yes, I will.
Of course you are.
Big fan of
The
Mila.
answer is always
yes.
You're going to buy it.
I will buy Protector.
So, goddamn, you should buy it.
And it seems, Rob, it's pretty decent from what I've gathered.
Yeah, what's not to love? And then this is kind of cool. Highest to
because
lowest.
Because I think Chris Gore reviewed it, and it was pretty decent. He said, yeah.
That's good.
I think if I remember it was reviewed on Film Friend.
Count me in.
We'll buy it. Yeah.
And then highest to lowest,
Okay.
which I thought was only going to be a streaming title. Highest to lowest is coming to us on physical media. So that's exciting.
It was an Apple movie. Am I right, Rob?
Yep.
This was on
It
Apple?
was. Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was an Apple movie, and A24 is putting this out.
Oh, okay.
So, take that. I don't know what that means in the grand scheme of things, but how interesting. I mean, very much interesting. And then, again, Paramount is putting this out. Paramount Media Distribution. Not only Escape from New York, but they're also putting out, for its 10th anniversary, 10 Cloverfield Lane. I like this movie a lot. Good-looking steelbook.
Me too.
What's not to love? What can I say?
But like you said, it was already available as a 4K, so
Yeah.
for people who
Double dip
own it
steelbook.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Imprint is putting out a box set, actually 2 new box sets. This is Youth Gone Wild, 1950s Juvenile Delinquency. The films Live Fast, Die Young from 58, Juvenile Jungle from 58, Young and Wild from 58, Teenage Crime Wave from 55. What's Not to Love? And these are all firsts on Blu-ray. So these vintage titles, hey, if you want to get them, there you go. And they're also releasing the Adventure Collection 2, or pardon me, not 2, 11. I stand corrected. The Black Knight from 1954, 55 Days at Peking from 1963, Taras Bulba from 62, Genghis Khan from 65, and that's what's in that box set. So there you go for that. These are great sets, by the way. And then we have, everybody keeps telling me about this movie. I haven't seen this movie. Have you seen this, Dieter? Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie?
No, I haven't.
People keep telling me about it. They say I'm going to love it. I can't wait to see it. I missed it in theaters. It came and went, but I'm going to buy this Blu-ray simply because people have been telling me it's great. Finally, Blake 7 Series 3. There's only one more to go. This was only a 4-season show. They redid some effects. These are great sets to get. I can finally retire my DVDs, which are terrible.
Yeah.
So it's great to have these. So they're coming out. So Series 3. Now we come to the sales figures. Zootopia 2 is number 1. Predator Badlands is number 2. These are all Blu-ray and HD discs. So it's Blu-ray and it's 4K.
All combined.
All combined. And then The Running Man is number 3. Number 4, Five Nights at Freddy's. Number 5 is Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Number 6 is Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Number 7, look at this, Devil's Advocate from Scream Factory.
Nice.
Number 8 is Ben-Hur. Number 9, Wicked for Good. And number 10 is Kino Lorber's Somewhere in Time. And then we go to the 4Ks, Predator Badlands, The Running Man, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Devil's Advocate, number 4. Ben-Hur is number 5, Somewhere in Time from Kino Lorber's number 6, Dogma from Lionsgate, number 7, The Wild Robot is number 8, Excalibur is number 9, and number 10 is Five Nights at Freddy's. So, Dietz, that
Rob,
is all the news that's fit to print.
Help me out, Somewhere in Time. Is that Christopher Reeve movie?
Yeah. from
Okay.
1980 with Jane Seymour,
Nice,
based
nice.
on the Richard Matheson story.
Nice.
It's a romance,
Nice to see
dude.
that
It's your favorite genre.
Yeah. Exactly. It's nice to see that pop up in the top 10. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, people
That's
love
great.
Somewhere in
Good to see.
Time. Love it.
Awesome to see.
So that's all the
to
news
see.
we got, buddy.
Okay, Rob. Do we have some super chats left before I dive
Let
into
me jump in
what's
and see
happening
if we
last
have super chats left. Let's see. Med905, live long and prosper, says, hi, Robin Dieter, one of my favorite vampire. Oh, nope, we already did that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a repeat. And I think we are good. Yep, we're good.
That was perhaps the only news that was missing, Rob. That steelbook from 30 Days of Night that will come out at 4K.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Steelbook.
totally.
Yeah.
So do I turn it
Okay.
over to you?
You can take a hopefully short break, Rob, because
All
I said
right.
previously on Let's Get Physical Media, where people chimed in, of course, in the live chat, and we start with Major Chai Chai. I saw Monument, the new movie from Bryan Singer that Rob did an interview with John Voight, Brian, too. And she says, I saw Monument last night. I loved it. Great to know. Game Freakness wants to know, do you guys rip your physical media and make a Plex server so you can take it everywhere? No, I don't. Rob, do you rip your movies?
I don't. I've thought about that. It's like so much effort.
Yeah.
One day I will do that if
Cool.
I have the time.
I don't. Major Chai Chai, I agree with Dieter. Just as I was getting into the science stuff of Project Hail Mary, my groove is interrupted by a joke. You're right. Castle Grayskull, wow, what a nice compliment for Dieter. I agree. I have no idea what that compliment was, but I'll take it. What a White Walker or 8-bit side. If only the movie had some space sharks, would change Dieter's mind? I have no idea. Perhaps in the extended version. Who will know? Major Chai Chai, because Rob, we didn't know when you did do the box office numbers. Sometimes we ask ourselves, did you heard about that movie? No, I don't either. I don't know what that movie is. And Major Chai Chai helps us out. The Pout Pout Fish in the Deep, Deep Dark is a children's book. Okay. Didn't know that. Because we were baffled. What is the Pout Pout Fish here in the box office top 10? The Alex Sorber. Rob, are you boycotting Dune 3 for your love of ballet? That would show me something, Take that, Timothy.
Why would I?
But probably-
No, I'm not going to. No.
Yeah.
Timothy's not wrong, by the way, and I would never boycott
Yeah.
Dune 3.
Correct. Richard Curtis. They Will Kill You looks great. And it is, Richard. It is. What a fun duet. And Major Chai Chai says, Isabella Rossellini. It is, Rob. Was the best part of The Beauty. Yeah, and I especially liked the younger version of Isabella Rossellini.
Me too.
Castle Grayskull. Dieter, hasn't Germany already qualified for the FIFA World Cup? Yeah, and this is the official German shirt that they will wear, but just a quality step below what they will be actually wearing when the Soccer World Cup is starting. Major Chai Chai, Project Hail Mary needed to be more like Apollo 13. Das Plato, Paradise series is too dependent on twists. It reduces the coherency of the plot. Let's wait out how the last episode tomorrow will shake out. What a White Walker. One Piece is awesome. It certainly is. Special taste, but it is. Brian Knight. Robert, you failed to correct John Campea when he referenced Enter the Dragon when discussing Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. The movie was The Way of the Dragon. And the Alex Sorba said, if he was to correct Campea every time he says something stupid, it would take up the whole show. Boris J says, because Rob, you are baffled because I didn't know about this comedian Henning Ren. And Boris says Henning does irreverent comedy and plays off German stereotypes. Okay. The Alex Sorber. I was so disappointed that Rob wasn't on Film Thread covering the Oscars. Luckily, others drank for him. That's good to know. Alpetal, I saw the announcement from Lionsgate about the 4K of Ninth Gate. What an ugly cover, and also no interesting extra stuff. I think the Steelbook looks really nice. Sometimes Steelbooks look better when you have it in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, I think look, Ninth Gate doesn't exactly have great key art. It didn't have a great
from the normal poster that I remember. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so they're
right.
doing. I mean,
really,
I think Lionsgate.
Nice.
What's interesting about what Lionsgate does is I like their unconventional artwork. Because a lot of the time, like Kill Bill had kind of boring key art too, and they gave us that comic illustrated cover for those things.
Correct,
and
yeah.
So,
yeah. Dude, have you heard actually anything about the whole bloody affair on physical media?
It's Lionsgate Limited's putting it out. It's coming, and so is
Okay.
Oh well, you know what? I don't know what I can and can't say. I don't want to say anything.
Okay.
That they haven't announced.
Okay.
So maybe it'll come. Maybe it'll come out on physical media. I don't know.
I'm just happy that it will get a release here.
I will tell you that I've written another essay. For those of you, you can see it in the description. I did write a big essay on the Ninth Gate about, and I'm writing another essay on a favorite movie of mine. I can't say what it is because they haven't announced it yet, but I'm excited about it.
Okay. Fingers crossed. 8-Bit Side, aka Walter Whitewalker. Speaking of samurai, where is Blue-Eyed Samurai Season 2? Like I said, with Furies, sometimes you forget a great series, and I'm looking, of course, forward for Blue-Eyed Samurai Season 2. Hopefully, it will be just around the corner. Real Thomas Logan. To anyone on here who hasn't seen Project Hail Mary yet, you gotta see it in 1570. It's fucking spectacular. Brian Knight, Robert and Dieter. Any interest in the Hugh Jackman movie, The Sheep Detective, coming out in May? No, because I have seen the trailer. Not for me. Rob, it's for you, The Sheep Detective movie.
I have a soft spot for talking animal movies.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm going to go. I saw the first trailer at CinemaCon. I'm going. Totally going.
Okay. The Alex Sorber. Sorcerer quite a 4K from Criterion. Great transfer. Loaded with goodies. A poster child for why I collect films on disc. We were talking about last week. I don't know the context anymore, but Dick This Energy says every TV or projector is different and has different settings. That is correct.
Yeah.
And Castle Grayskull was a little bit confused. Now I know the context. We were talking about the two Jakes and the damn fool idealistic Crusader saying the compression sucks on the disc. And Castle Grayskull was not sure what we are talking about because she said compression sucks. Okay. Then the Alex Sorber, Godfather 3 was my biggest ever disappointment in cinemas. It's not bad on its own, but as part of that trilogy, no. And Real Thomas Logan says, I watched the Godfather Coda in theaters, and I couldn't believe how much of an improvement it was. Okay. Rulard 6611. I've tried to watch some of them full idealistic Crusader videos, and he does come off a little bit too far up his own behind. I will believe Max would agree.
I would say that's his charm. I would say that's his power. And again, I'd love to have Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader on the channel. I'm a fan. And by the way, we have to have Paul from Twin Flicks. One day we got to have Paul from Twin Flicks. Come on.
From Twin Flicks. The Alex Sorber says, not joking, I actually own the one sheet for Free Enterprise. Dieter told me not to send it to Rob for a signature. And here's the evidence why you shouldn't send it to Rob for a sign. My Agent Cody Banks media book, signed by Rob. Fuck off, you douchey
I have
douche.
it.
You know? Yeah,
I have it.
Yeah, it is.
By the way, you know what?
You can do it, Alex. You can do it, Alex. on your own risk.
I just want to point out I did actually send a Free Enterprise, the Free Enterprise one sheets.
Yeah.
I think that I might have the only ones left in existence, and I think there's less than 20 of them. And I did send one to a woman in Chicago who did get it signed by Shatner in the last. I sent it to her like what 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And she sent me a nice Christmas card about it, and so I have done it. I still have your pile of stuff. I got things. I got Dieter. I got Dieter a Dragon Slayer from the Tuna Train.
Yeah.
Now we have Dragon Slayer as a beautiful
when we
4K steelbook.
when we didn't know a 4K was coming up,
So the Abyss has come out. Dragon Slayer's come out.
Yeah, correct.
I have Agent Cody Banks. I got your media books. I think that I've got your Haunting or whatever the thing is, the buttons.
Correct, Rob. The great horror movie that I loved, and they were, I don't know the company anymore. That
Ronin Films, Ronin Flicks.
Ronin, correct.
Ronin,
correct.
Yep.
Yeah,
I got it.
Awesome. The Alex Serber. I'm on the verge of ordering a German media book of the 4K to Live and Die in LA. Just one click away. Put it in the basket, Alex. Put it in the basket. It's such an easy.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hang on.
Yeah.
There's a 4K media book of To Live and Die in LA from Germany?
Yeah. From Cape Light. Yeah, Rob. It's coming out. Yeah. Just saying, Rob. Just saying. But it is the same cover artwork that you have, Rob. There's no new cover artwork. If you want it, Rob, okay. If you don't have enough to Live and Die in LA, there is from Cape Light a new media book coming out. Just saying.
Why am I hearing this from a viewer and not from you?
Because I think you have enough to Live and Die in LA in your collection, and you have it in 4K even. So I don't know about it. You got that French box set, with the big book. So I think you'll probably be good with owning To Live and Die.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I need a cape. Is it really the same cover though as the media book I already have?
I will look at. I think, Rob, it's the same, but you can do it as Max does, Rob. Just tell me, Dietz, my birthday is coming up. Dietz, my birthday is coming up. Dietz,
my birthday is coming up.
No.
May.
That's how Max is doing it, Rob. If he wants to get something.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Speaking of Max, yeah, and but I think it's the same cover artwork, Rob. So probably even I would believe, Rob, even the inside of the media book is a copy.
Yeah,
it's a copy of that.
But it is 4K.
Yeah, it is, Rob. It is, Rob.
I have to look this up.
Perhaps, Rob. Perhaps one of the websites will review it, and you can see if there's really any change.
I mean, look, Kino put it out.
Yeah.
Arrow.
Yeah. So many versions.
Not enough.
And Max was on our show last week, and he discussed Turbine's release of Frighteners in 4K, and he said movie dipped in his reasoning, loving it, and now just liking it. And people chimed in. John Monkey, I loved the Frighteners. And Major Chai, I take the Frighteners over the Hobbit. And BCH says, what? The Frighteners is great. Max was aware that he's putting himself into a little bit of hot water with the take. Boris J says, or asks, Rob, which crew is better? Max and Dieter or Cambia and Jonathan? Well, one is his job, and the other he does do for fun. You can choose.
First of all,
what
that isn't fair because we're doing two totally different things.
Correct.
John Campia's show is one of the most tightly run, tightly focused, tightly produced shows on YouTube. John
and
puts
it looks
a lot of work
excellent
into it.
And sounds excellent, Rob. He doesn't have that snafus that we sometimes have.
No, I mean I honestly would say, to be honest, not just because I've been on it, but I think John Campia's YouTube show is the best produced entertainment news show on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's not a better
Considering
show.
the quality. Yeah.
And in terms
He
of,
does,
the quality,
he
in terms
does
of
does it for a long time. He knows how to do that.
yeah, I mean, and John's entire focus is presenting the best show he can to the viewers. That's his.
Yeah.
I mean, look, John has no interest in physical media. He would never do this show. As a matter of fact, he was like, physical media, pshaw, you guys, what are you guys doing? You know, does not care. Half the films that we talk about on the show he's never heard of, nor would he care about hearing about them. So it's I mean, John is a very, you know, he talks about top tier studio releases, and this show is not that. And in terms of I think Jonathan is a big part of John Campia's show as well. He's a great producer. You know, Jonathan edits, I'm not going to say who, but he works with a lot of other very well-known celebrities that are also on YouTube and do one of them who might even be in True Noir, The Assassination of Anton Cermak. I'm not going to say who it is, but Jonathan works for that person as well. And so the technical prowess of the show, I mean, do you know what's crazy? On April 14th, it will be my 11th anniversary of streaming with John Campia. The first time I ever streamed live on YouTube was with John Campia and John Schnepp. I don't know if we were live or they pre-recorded it. It might have been live. Was it live?
Okay.
I don't remember.
Live already? Perhaps, Rob. I know.
It might have been. It was the sixth episode of what was then AMC Heroes before it became Collider Heroes. Yeah. So my entire live experience on YouTube began with John Campia. And, you know,
where you thought, what is that kind of YouTube contraction that you're talking about?
You know, I like I've told people, I didn't even know. Like, John Schnepp asked me to do it. I showed up at Collider. I think one of my problems when I ran into problems with the Collider people was they didn't really know me. You know, I would walk in and I would leave. So I didn't stick around. They knew nothing about me. And then when Christian Harloff, when we started doing Movie Trivia Schmodown, at first it was just kind of fun, whatever we knew. And then it became really serious, and Christian was coming up with these things and these storylines with all like me and Dagnino or whatever. And he goes, I want you to play a heel. I didn't even know what a heel was. And I had
we never got the change from you to a babyface, which I would have loved to see.
Yeah, no, I didn't know the difference other than Az's name, heel versus babyface. I didn't know any. So I think when I ran into problems with but I think people really thought that I was that screaming character, the captain. And this was
so you played the role perfectly, right?
I guess. But Christian told me about this, and then that jacket that I bought when I was married in 2001. We did all the Halloween thing. It had been sitting in my closet for all that time, 15 years or whatever. I hadn't worn that jacket, and I'm like, oh, I'll wear this. I didn't know who Ric Flair was. You know, and then I'm like, oh, I can do that. And then I would come on and perform. And it was fun. Right. And then, you know, people were like, what an asshole.
Heels are there to get the heat, Rob. You know?
But nobody knew me. Like all these people, I remember once, I want to say it was Roxy who I loved. Roxy, I think it was Roxy. She sat down with me one day, and I've told this story before, but she said, you've made movies. Like nobody knew anything about me. I would just, because I'm like, yeah. She goes, you've produced films. You were a producer on Cody Banks. I'm like, yep. I actually, my company bought that script. We developed it. We found it. We flipped it to MGM. And she's like, you don't talk about this. Like all of us here want to make movies and all that, but you've actually done it. And I'm like, well. And I had to explain to her, like, I have done, like, I recently, I created a resume recently to submit to, I had my first AI interview yesterday. I was interviewed for a half an hour by an female AI agent. It was wild. So, so I did my CV, you know, my resume. It's ridiculous. I'm looking at my own. It's all honest. I didn't bullshit anything. I'm just looking at my resume. I'm like, this resume is ridiculous. It doesn't even look real because I put down, what I've done. And how do you explain, like, we've got White Devils coming out, I've got True Noir out, and I'm writing for Lionsgate Limited, and I've done this and I've done that. And when you collectively put it all there, how is somebody supposed to define you? So when I was talking to Roxy about making movies and stuff, she had a hard time. She's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing the movie Trivia Schmodown? Like, why are you doing it? And I'm like, but I had no agenda. I only started on YouTube because John Schnepp asked me to do it. And then I was at Collider and I'm like, it was fun. Like, I literally just was having fun. I really liked everybody I worked with. I thought they were all very cool people, but they never really, I'd walk in, do my screaming captain character. And when I had my little,
Awesome.
problems with, and I have different personas. Like on Twitter, I'm a staunch Zionist, and pretty much, I'm very combative when it comes. I'm a civilizationist, a common sensist, and people they can't reconcile the different. It's all me. None of it's a lie. It's all true, but they want to pigeonhole me and make me one thing, and I'm like, no. I mean, I have all different kinds of personalities, and people are always asking me, why are you not like, why on Raw Observations are you different than you are on the John Campea show? And I'm like, because I'm a guest on the John Campea show. John hires me.
I am here.
Yeah, but I still, like, you can say and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But when I'm on the John Campea show, we are there to deliver entertainment news. I'm not there to deliver my personal politics, unless I can, scooch it in a little bit. But we're talking about the entertainment news, and I'm bringing my entertainment knowledge and prowess to the show. It's his show. I'm not going to go off script. There is no script. I'm still speaking my mind, but I have my own show. If people want to know what they want, I've been giving my uncut opinion on this channel since 2018. So I've been doing it now for 8 years. And it's so funny. I mean, when people always talk about, because whenever you meet people that don't know who you are, or they're encountering you for the first time, I get a lot of pushback. I'm like, look, I've fallen asleep on this channel, drunk off my ass. I have done everything you could possibly imagine on this show. I've said every offensive thing I'm going to say. I've said everything I truly believe. It's all there if you choose to look for it. So, it's different. When I'm on other people's shows, I'm a guest. I'm not there to sit there and blow up their show. I'm there to do what I've been hired to do. And a lot of people don't get that. When you come to this channel, you can see me how you want to see me. You can see, because I'm not beholden to anybody but myself. I wanted to talk about For All Mankind last time, but I fell down the Star Trek rabbit hole. I was like, fuck that show. Fuck it.
That can easily happen.
And it does.
And I'm guilty of that too, Rob, because the stuff that you've done, I learned after I got to know you through YouTube. Then I looked up, okay, what has he done? Oh, he produced Agent Cody Banks. Hey, there's a cool German media book that I perhaps can get assigned for me. So for me, I'm guilty of that too, Rob.
There's no reason people should know. And it's funny because I don't, I've talked a lot about what I've done on this channel, but no one cares that I was the production assistant on Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 in the summer of 1989.
Yeah, but then I bought that movie, and when the credits roll, I said, the Leonardo DiCaprio, you mean? I know this guy.
But that's the funny thing is because people like I've done weird movies like on Cast a Deadly Spell that Gail Ann Hurd produced that was on HBO. I've done so much stuff, and yet I haven't had great commercial success. I haven't made a movie that made millions of dollars or whatever. So it's interesting because I have just as many people that think I'm a complete douche. Like, what have you ever done? You've done nothing. Like the other night, I read super chats from somebody that said they were A. Kurtzman, and they called me a failed director. I'm like, well, the only times I've been hired to direct, I didn't fail. I made my movie, and I made Free Enterprise, and even though you're not a fan, but I did win awards. I won a Best New Writer award, and we won Film Festival awards. And then I directed 5 episodes of Femme Fatales. Like, I did those things. I've never made a movie that, like, I didn't make Alex Kurtzman's The Mummy. So, I mean, but it's a weird thing. Like, the thing that people don't look. I'm just as proud. This is the 234th episode of this show. I'm just as proud of this show as anything I've ever done. You know what this show is, if nothing else? It's a celebration of my friendship with you, a man I've never actually met in person. And what is this show? Two people that probably should never have met. You live in Saarbrücken, Deutschland. I live in Los Angeles or outside of Los Angeles, and we became friends, and we've done this for 6 years on YouTube. Yeah. To me, this is what the world is today. You meet people, you get to do shows, you get to share your interests, you get to share it with other people. People tune in, and I've said if people thought this show was bullshit, our audience has never grown. Our audience has been essentially the same audience since we started. Yeah. Some people have come and gone, but for the most part...
and some go, yeah.
But you know what? This show is a testament to genuine people. You and I and our audience and Max... We are genuine. What you see is what you get. We are not trying to pretend that we are anything other than who and what we are. Yeah. And that's why people watch us.
Correct.
The small,
tiny. and we have, at least, Rob, stable ratings.
We do. Our ratings are stable. They're stable.
Yeah. So there we go. A long explanation for the live chat from Boris. Which crew would Rob actually find better? Then we have Sianong says, The Two Jakes is one of the worst films I have ever seen. And Dom Jr. Jackson, our moderator, was in the live chat. When Max left the show, he said, Max Allen Collins will return in Avengers Doomsday, which I thought was pretty funny. Then we have Captain Finity Time Travel Police. He says someone should publish a compilation of every sex scene Max has written. Not a bad idea. Danzig, 1979, because last week the big news that Rob presented was, of course, the Stranger Things box set. He said, I wonder, though, with Stranger Things coming from Netflix, if that might mean more Netflix content on physical media in the future. And if so, what would you want to see? One person in the comments said that, strangely, the physical media rights seem to be lying with Warner. And that's why Arrow could put out the box set. So I don't know if Netflix even has a hand in the Stranger Things box set. So let's see and hope we'll get perhaps more stuff.
They might have,
service, but perhaps.
It's a very interesting, I don't know, I should ask George Feltenstein about that, but they might have, the Duffer Brothers might have wanted, because they're retro guys, wanted a physical media release.
Yeah. I saw a different physical media channel. I think it was that one, the guy mentioned the comments, AV Pop Culture, where he did dive into the specific rights digitally, physical media. For me, it's just then a little bit strange that Warner did not even put out something themselves, considering they're releasing their series on physical media. Like
yeah, but
Game
they
of Thrones.
probably thought Netflix. I mean, look, they've got a great. I know George loves Arrow, and Arrow has been killing it.
Yeah,
I do have to say. I mean, I know the Mortal Kombat box set is a Warner Brothers title.
New Line.
It was just a subsidiary of Warner.
Yeah, correct.
I know what. Look, it's the 50th anniversary of Logan's Run, which is MGM, but it's Warner. We got Westworld. I want them, and I know it takes time because they've made a deal and they've got a lot of things, and Arrow takes time. So I can't sit there and go, you know, I want. But we now know what they've got coming out through June. So now we've got the first 6 months, and they've been doing banger shit like Warner, the Salem's Lot, and they've done so much Excalibur, Westworld. But I do hope that they step up their Warner catalog titles for the rest of the year because they have a lot of them. And I my hope is I would really love to see the Ultimate Logan's Run box set.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed
Yeah,
that you will.
it is the 50th
Get your
anniversary.
wish.
By the way, we do have
Yeah.
Paul Bernardo says, if The Hunt for Gollum fails at the box office, will the next Lord of the Rings movie be greenlit? Personally, I don't have much hope for it. It's just my opinion. Well, I mean, look, I don't think Hunt for Gollum is going to be a bad movie. I have all the hope in the world that it's going to be good. And I think it's also not going to cost, I don't think it's going to cost $200 million, but it might. I don't know.
Is it already in production, Rob? Is it already in production?
It's in pre-production. I don't know if it started shooting. It might start shooting in April, but yeah, it's imminent. Richard Curtis says, Rob, if you like talking animal films, have you seen Watership Down or The Plague Dogs? I own both of them. You know, both of those movies. Criterion put out Watership Down. I think Criterion put out Plague Dogs too. I'm not sure.
It was BFC, Rob.
That's
UK,
right. That's right. That's what I have.
The
That's
4K, the 4K edition.
That
you know what was announced, then it was off the table for a specific time, and we thought we never would get it, you know. And then it came. Luckily, it came back on the pre-order schedule.
Yeah. Yep. So we're caught up on Super Chat.
Yeah, we're caught up. Okay. So I go on with Paul in Long Beach. It's been a while, but I'm glad I got to catch Rob and Dieter. And Patrick Williams says, yes, it's owned by Netflix. You are 100% right, Rob. Chase from Ava Pop Culture says different, considering, like I said, that Warner has somehow the physical media rights to Stranger Things. Patrick Williams never had Netflix subscription and never will subscribes to get it. Nalpetal, as I never subscribed to Netflix again, I'm glad I pre-ordered Stranger Things. Danzig, 1979. I wonder if we will get another wave of Marvel and Star Wars Disney Plus shows on physical media. Had a deluge and now crickets. Perhaps later shows were not that well received. And I think, considering the Disney shows, you can still all get them. I think perhaps they didn't sell that well. I have no idea. But fingers crossed, they will release some of these shows. Handelo says, I swear there are movies only Deeds own. I'm sure you're right on that front, Handelo. And I hope so. Tele3 Champion wants to know, is the open matte version in 4K? I showed a Frightener's box set last week. No, the open matte version is not in 4K. It's just Blu-ray, but I would assume it stems from the 4K master. Pete and Card, considering Peaky Blinders, a series I always heard good things about, but I never gotten around to watching it. They released a final movie for it. I watched the Peaky Blinders films yesterday. If you're not a fan of the show, then you might find it a bit of a drag, but saying that once it hits its stride, it's pretty good. 7.5 out of 10. So really nice finish here. Major Chai Chai, considering Starfleet Academy, and I said even the Style Over Substance couldn't get me to watch it. I meant Style Over Substance for Starfleet Academy regarding their production values, great production effort, poor story writing, and world building. Yeah, Major. But for me, even as a Style Over Substance fan, couldn't get into it. The first episode I was, what are we here? Are we in a shopping mall or is this really a spaceship? Okay. Justin Toner. Can't believe it took me so long to watch To Live and Die in LA.
Yeah, I can't either. Good. Came out in 1985. Come on.
Finally, Justin closed that gap. And Rob had in the new section the new stuff that's coming from Second Sight, Devil's Candy, and Insomnia. And Richard Curtis says, Devil's Candy, it's not as good as Loved Ones, still a good time because it's from the same director.
Yeah.
And here was Loved Ones, is one of my favorites, Rob. And I wanted to remove the sticker back in the day, but then I detected a tear in the shiny cover, so I had to put it back here, you know. Shiny. I love the Loved Ones. And from the same director was Devil's Candy, which comes out from Second Sight. Major Jai from the news that Rob showed. 51st Dates with Adam Sandler. I really liked. Paul and Brunotto, First 50 Dates is a better Adam Sandler movie. Totally agree. And Alex Sorba, I like 51st Dates more than Bridesmaids. It had the sweetness. Did I say that out loud? You didn't, but I did. And of course, we were reminiscent of the passing of Chuck Norris. Tom Jr. Jackson. My favorite Chuck Norris film is Sidekicks. Paul and Brunotto, Invasion USA is my favorite Chuck Norris movie. BCH, Love Lone Wolf McQuaid. Lord Hoth, Missing in Action is the best. And Satan West, cool name says, my favorite Chuck Norris is Invasion USA, then Missing in Action, then Firewalker. And Lord Hoth, K-pop Demon Hunters will be day one pre-order for 4K. Ditto for me too. And this was the live chat readout, Rob, from last week.
Well, very, very, very exciting. I guess that brings us to the end of our show.
Yeah. If we
I want to thank...
don't have anything left to tell the people, go watch They Will Kill You. Just say.
No, don't do that. No.
Support younger.
By the way,
directors.
Hitchhiker 42 says, Rob, doesn't Logan's Run have a continuity character with cut scenes when they are frozen and were removed due to nudity to get a lower rating? Yeah. And? Yes, I mean, there are continuity errors in the ice cave. There are. I don't care. I saw Logan's Run when I was 9 years old in 1976, opening night. My mother took my sister and I, and the second bill, my mom dragged me out of the first 10 minutes of Fantastic Planet, the animated film. I've loved Logan's Run my entire life. And there are continuity errors, and I just don't care. Maybe they'll fix them with the deleted scenes. Put it back. Make the movie work. I don't mind. I just want it in 4K because it's great, and it has a great Jerry Goldsmith score. You can't love everything is not perfect. But Logan's Run is something I want in 4K, and I know that Arrow might be bringing it to us. It is the 50th anniversary, after all. Maybe we won't get it till the end of the year. Actually, you know what's interesting? Let me look up. When was Logan's Run release date? Release date film. Let's see. Logan's Run came out June 23rd, 1976. Well, they did not make the 50th anniversary, Arrow. Epic fail. But that doesn't mean... Well, here's the thing. It came out in the United States.
Yeah.
It later expanded to international markets, including Arrow's a UK company. It expanded to the UK in September of 1976. That would be
still a chance.
Arrow could make that 50th anniversary. Now, I have faith. I have faith for this to work on me, Mr. Vincent. I mean, Arrow Video. I would say that September is your time to shine. I want it branded as the 50th anniversary Logan's Run release. I mean, come on, you gave Westworld. You gave Westworld a great release. It deserves that. I want the O-ring. I want the slipcase. I want the whole deal.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. September. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to call it. Let's just say that Arrow is going to release Logan's Run in September of 2026. Let's just do the secret. We'll do Oprah Winfrey. We will will it into existence. We'll just say it's going to happen. We're just going to say that Arrow is going to put out Logan's Run in September of 96. September of 2026 in 4K.
I didn't look at the card, or perhaps is it Logan's Run? No, it's Excalibur.
Yeah, see, no. No, we're gonna will it into we're gonna secret that shit. We're gonna manifest it. I'm manifesting it right now. I'm gonna say, as a matter of fact, I want people to report this, that Rob Burnett says that Arrow Video is going to release Logan's Run in September of 2026 because that's when it was released in the UK in 1976. And why not? Why not? Why shouldn't they do that? God damn it. Now, of course, I mean, I don't even know if they have the rights, to be honest. I don't even know. I don't know. But if they did, if they did, then they should release it in September of 2026. And they should brand it 50th Anniversary Edition. They should go all out.
Yeah.
Logan's Run. And George Feltenstein, who watches this show, he knows because he put out the great MGM double disc 2-disc Laserdisc set. So he knows.
Nice.
And Arrow being a UK company, should if they've already missed June, which I understand because they're a UK company, but September of 2026 is the actual 50th anniversary. And you know what? If you guys want to write letters to Arrow, you should. Just write down Rob Burnett said, we should write you letters and say you fucking better put Logan's Run. and you know, you should get Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader to sign off on your transfer. You have to get Fidelity in Motion to do it. I want a new Atmos mix with that banger
before
Jerry
compression
Goldsmith
sucks.
score. Yeah, I want compression socks. By the way, you should keep those. We should now do we should do a segment. What disc has the best compression of the week? And you bring out the you rattle the
compression
no,
socks.
But by the way, for anybody who doesn't understand, I'm being humorous. There's been no announcement that Logan's Run is coming out from Arrow. There has been no announcement that it's going to come out in September of 2026. I just think it's important that we make it happen. It is the 50th anniversary in the UK, and Arrow's a UK company.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to put out Wake and Fright and Audition in 4K, let's get some Logan's fucking Run in 4K in September. So.
Okay. Yeah. So we're caught up, I believe, Rob?
We are caught up.
We're caught up. Okay.
We are caught up.
So what is coming out, Rob, next week? Super Mario Galaxy is the big one next.
Yep.
Next week.
Next
over
week.
Easter. Do we actually do a show over Easter, Rob? For me, or from my perspective, yes. There's no.
Yeah, no. I mean, I have no. Easter is the first zombie holiday.
Okay. Yeah.
First reanimating the dead, right? So why not celebrate? You know what? The first Joe Ledger book is about zombies. So yeah, no. Why not? Yeah, why? I have no problem with that. You know, if you've already found your Easter bunny, you've already gone on your Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
You know,
we will see what we will get this week for physical media.
Yeah.
So on that front, from me, I say, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. I want to thank everybody for generously supporting this channel via Super Chats, tips, and memberships. We'll do a member call next week. And I hope all is well with all of you. I want to thank our moderating staff, beginning with people like Darth Plato and, of course, Tom Jr. Jackson, the official moderator of this channel, and Lord Toth and anyone else. Yeah. And thank you all. And, yeah.
And Rob, just quick, remind me, when is CinemaCon again? In April?
CinemaCon is in the middle of April, like April 15th.
Middle of April. Okay.
Yeah, it started March 31st last year, but it's 2 weeks later. I can't wait. I am very, very excited to go to CinemaCon. I really desperately
can't wait what
that.
you and John will be reporting. What will be
we will be reporting.
Out.
I mean, there's so much stuff. Dune, Doomsday. There's just
and especially the Warner Paramount situation will be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that. Because Paramount is not really worthy of acquiring Warner Brothers. You know, it's like Paramount's this little upstart. Like, what have you done for me lately? But we'll see.
Lately, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll
So,
see. Okay, guys.
all right, everyone.
Happy Easter. See you next week.
See you next week. All righty.